your boy Boss. And I'm back. You already know. Back with
another one.
Let's get it. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Alright. I promise y'all I was coming back. And it's even better. Ooh, man. I'm going to keep taking them breaks. Maybe I should split up content more often. Goodness gracious. God damn. I take a break. I come back. And freaking D-Hop on me. What is going on? From Bobby Belt again. Hey man, I told you that dude is out here laying out the nuggets. He been laying out the nuggets today. Go, man, go. Buy me. Come on now. Clap it up, run it up. So, man, I can't wait to talk about this. I know y'all want to get on those phones. And yes, we will. We gonna talk. We gonna open up the phone lines today, baby. We gonna talk about all these nuggets that ain't nobody talking about. This is gonna be an exclusive. Nah, it ain't no real exclusive. You just gotta know how to dig. See, I'm a dig boy. You understand? I dig. I go get it. I go run it up.
Run it up.
You know what I'm saying? I speak my mind.
Bring it real back. He just speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
So, you know, we go do that again. We go run it up all over again. So y'all just sit back. Boss is back. Listen to your boy music while I set it up. Let's get this Millennial Falcon going. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let me know how y'all feeling out there. How the world feeling. How y'all feeling. Let's go. Ooh, man. Wow. We just getting y'all crunk. Man. You know, we gonna see how this whole thing play out, man. We gonna always see how it play out. We ain't gonna get too emotions. Let's go. Back today. And I come back, and it's already going down from the same source I said was laying out them nuggets. Now, I told y'all. So, for those of y'all who missed it, I did a show earlier, and I hardly ever do midday shows, but it's about that time to where content gonna be falling out the sky like Christmas. If you tuned out because the season is over, this is the wrong time. You better tune back in, because it's finna go down. See, because championships are won in the off season, baby. So this is the time to pay attention. I was doing this show on Michael Lombardi, and I walked away, and I said, man, I'm gonna be back, man, to talk about these Bobby Belt nuggets. You know what I mean? These gold nuggets, because he has been low-key laying out gems and jewels, and I guarantee you ain't gonna see no content about it nowhere. Cause he laying it out smooth, and you have to be in the right places at the right time, listening to the right things, and then boom, you would catch it. So we gonna talk about some of it, man. So obviously, one of the things that just came out, literally just came out. Let me turn this music down. One of the things that literally just came out from the same source, Bobby Belt. Here we go.
We got a special guest in the building. What's going on, D? What's going on, Triple D? What's happening? I keep hearing y'all say my name around here. What's up? Talk to me. I'm on live now. What's up?
Well, how you doing, big homie? Shoot, you talking to Triple D? You talking to me? That's my town, homeboy. So, obviously, you see your boy Dez Bryant out there doing his job. You know, he still got love for the Cowboys, and he got a piece of that Jerry Jones in him now. He knows the power of his social media. He knows the power of his influence. You never could underestimate a guy like Dez in terms of a potential ally to the Dallas Cowboys because the only people that don't really respect Dez Bryant, can I be honest, the people that don't respect are Cowboy fans. Can I say that again? The only people that don't respect Dez Bryant is Cowboy fans. But you can still see, even in retirement, man, Dez got that juice. He got that juice to where he can literally go pull cats. And this is the funny thing. Dez so dramatic. I love Dez. Dez looking out to the left. He looking to the side. He know he getting ready to reveal something. Dez so funny. Dez, he looking out to the side, man. He being dramatic before he reveal him. Yeah, that's funny, bro, how they did that, man. No, look at Dez's face, bro. Dez was being extra. One more time. Let me show Dez, man, one more time how he just being dramatic. Watch this. Here we go.
We got a special guest in the building.
So he say special guest. Then he look to the left. He look to the right. He just got to be so dramatic with it. I ain't mad at you, Dez. Get us hype. Get us hype,
man. Got a special guest in the building.
Dez so funny. See, listen, Dez, if Dez ever got into social media, if he ever started his own channel, trust me, he would go crazy in views. Because he got the streets. That's what can I just be honest? That dude got the streets on lock. Oh, hold on, let me show him though.
What's going on, D?
Yeah, so that whole intro, see that whole intro, man. It's so funny, bro. So, what y'all think? I just want to kind of see what y'all think of this. What's y'all thoughts on this? See, because if this came from Jerry, nobody would believe it. You know what I'm saying? You know, if this came from Jerry, nobody would believe it. Everybody think we getting trolled right now. So, what do y'all think of that? What do you think this is saying? Because I don't quite know. You know, I mean, could this be receivers working together to try to get in Dallas? Or could this be receivers working together to try to get another receiver paid using Dallas? To be honest, Dez don't seem like that type. He don't seem like that type to where he's going to use Dallas to try to get his homeboy paid. I think this is a real move. Just in my opinion, I think Dez is out there working. I think his heart has always been in Dallas. Let me ask y'all a question. He talked about it, and he honestly talked about, you know, battling mental illness. Who does that about a team? What I mean by that is Dez, he loved Dallas so much. Think about it. That when he left Dallas, it's like he left himself in Dallas because he could not get over it. He started struggling with mental illness based on feeling like he's no longer with the Cowboys, I would assume. You know, because it changed him. So, like, Dez is, in my opinion, if I don't know Dez, but looking on Dez on the outside, Dez seemed like the type that wear his heart on his sleeve. One of them type dudes. You know what I mean? Very strong, but also very emotional, right? So when I see Dez out here and it looked like they was outside, likely they was either chilling, talking, or coming from a workout, or just supporting each other. But then also think about this. Let's just kind of think about this. If Hopkins do this, what he did, right? He also know that this is a lobby, that he's low-key lobbying to potentially be in Dallas. Well, let me say this real quick. Coach Moore say, boss, who got James Washington a chance in Dallas? Oh, yep, see, yeah, I see what you said, Coach. Yeah, exactly. See, I see what you said. See, Coach with me. I had to catch up to you, Coach. I wasn't with you at first. Yeah, it was Dez. It was Dez lobbying for James Washington. So, just on a nutshell, let me say this real quick. And good point, Coach Moore. Excellent point. Y'all clap it up for Coach Moore. Another point on why, if we was to do something about this, just thinking out loud. This is just thinking this out loud as this came out, just a couple of hours ago, right? I like the fact that your new number one used to idolize this dude.
Damn, plug. You speak Swahili.
CeeDee Lamb, when he first came to the Cowboys, he didn't want the number 88. You know what number he wanted? Number 10. He wanted number 10 because of this dude. It makes me think. It makes me think. Because CeeDee Lamb, just keeping it all the way real, right? Just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking, thinking, right? If I'm thinking about trying to make my number one even better, because CeeDee Lamb, when we was mad at CeeDee Lamb, most of us was mad at CeeDee Lamb for one thing: drops. Can I be real? It took a long time for most people. It took a long time for most people to go ahead and call him a number one this year because of the drops. He didn't really have that many drops, but the drops that he had was an 88-ish. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't too many receivers in this whole world that got better hands than this dude. I ain't talking about Dez. I ain't talking about you, Dez. Get off the pitch. Get off the pitch, dog. Talking about that dude. That dude. That dude hands for real. For real. That dude, you talking about, man, bringing somebody in the room to make your current number one even better? Somebody he already look up to? Oh, yeah. See, Big Santana, see, that's keeping it real. See, that's just keeping it real. See, this is what I like it, because boys is honest up in here, man. We sometimes we gotta just be honest. My boy Big Santana is honest, man. Look at this. This is G stuff right here. And the pouting. But I came around. See, exactly. We had to come around. But what if, Big Santana? What if, dog? What if we could get even better? Huh? Man, Dez so dramatic. I come for Dez. Look at Dez's face, bro. Dez is funny as hell. Watch Dez's face. Dez is funny.
Damn, plug. You speak Swahili.
Man, Dez the dude. Dez is that dude. Hold on, one more time. Watch how Dez reveal his dude, man. Dez so funny. Look at Dez. Dez knew it. Look at Dez knew he was giving us money. He was like, man, I'm giving y'all some money. Y'all want some money? Look at his face. Look at Dez's face. Man, I ain't mad at you, Dez. Dez, I'm not mad. Dez knew exactly what he was doing. Dez like, I'm finna give y'all some hope right now. I'm finna show y'all who I've been talking to, my guy. Look at him. The reveal. And then you see the sly smile. Even in Hopkins. See, it's a whole lot of people. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I meet a lot of these players, especially in the off season. I'm gonna tell y'all something, bro. It's a whole lot of people that want to be Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, and see, yeah, I definitely agree with this vision right here, man. Look at this. Ooh-wee. D-Hop on the outside and CD in the slot. That would not be bad at all. I'm gonna open up the phones in a second, and then I'm gonna talk about some more stuff, because I wasn't even gonna talk about this today, but obviously this just happened, and this is real stuff, man. I like what I'm seeing, because it's real. Like, it's real momentum. It's real people that got real emotions about this. So check this out. So if you go to Bobby Belt, I told y'all Bobby Belt, as of lately, he been on fire. Yeah, see, Bobby Belt has been working. Listen, y'all, he has been working. So it was Bobby Belt who dropped the tender of Bastille. Yep, that dropped from Bobby Belt. Yup. That boy been working. And so this came from, again, Bobby Belt 5 hours ago, right? Marcus Spears immediately. Well, now, Des Bryant doing the Lord's work. Wait. Listen, y'all, this offseason getting ready to be dope. See, and listen, y'all, we are a week away from free agency. Ooh, trust me. I can smell it. Trust me, I can smell it. I don't think nobody else can smell it, but Dallas is getting ready to clown this offseason. Dallas is getting ready to clown. I see it coming. And my boy Life Crazy say, you smelling fool's gold? Why Life? Because this is why I don't think it's fool's gold. It's the source. The source is why I don't think it's fool's gold. If this leak was coming from Jerry showing interest in Odell Beckham, I would be with you on that, Life. Keeping it all the way real with you. But this is coming from a true lover of the Cowboys. This is coming from Dez, who then obviously sent this to Bobby Belt. They obviously got the relationship. He allowed Bobby Belt to break this. He could have sent this to anybody. He sent this to Bobby Belt. You know what I'm saying? And Bobby Belt broke this. So this didn't come from the Joneses. This came from organic receivers having a discussion who decided, yeah, sure, I will go ahead and put my name on your video. We just go draw instant interest. And my boy Big Santana say, don't think this is the wee woo. I don't think this is the wee woo. I really don't. I really don't, bro. I don't think this is the wee woo. I think this is real.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo, wee woo.
I don't think this is that wee woo. I don't think this is that wee woo. And see, now, the wee woo would be if they start talking about numbers right now. That would be wee woo, right? I wouldn't trust stuff coming from front office right now. Not too much. Not too much. But just organically coming from Dez, yeah, I trust that. That's just me though. That's my, and then, you know, when you go look at the movement, Zach Wolchuk, he said, don't play with my emotions like this. You know what I'm saying? So this obviously broke on G-Bag Nation. And you know, and they was tweeting about it. This is cool to see. Corey Majors. Well, keep saying it. Hop. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, so you can see that it's getting some movement. Kevin Hagley, you know what I'm saying? So all those fan boys, Peyton from the morning show. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so when you go see just all the, you know, the moves on it, and then obviously Bobby Belt being the original, you know, person who tweeted this out. So anyway, I don't really know exactly what to think of it. I do like that Hopkins himself is showing interest, because when you put yourself out there, you basically, in my opinion, you the first one to call. You know how they say in the rule of negotiation, the rule number one is don't be the first one to call? Well, this time Hopkins was the first one to show, I'm willing to be a Cowboy, in my opinion. This is him saying, because a lot of people, trust me, especially when you've been moving around the league and you trying to finish out with a contender, see, a whole lot of people don't see, only the fans think we not close. I'm gonna say that again. Only the Dallas Cowboy fans think we are not close. But other people on the outside looking in, they looking at Dallas like, say, man, I could be the answer. I could come over there and I can be the whole answer to what Dallas need.
You want answers?
And we all know we was begging. Yeah, it's a couple of other ways. I like your point on there, Coach. It's a couple other ways, but for your overall, what you said overall, I agree with. All right, so listen, I'm gonna take some calls. Let me show what Coach said. I like this by Coach. This is a good thought. He said, "Boss, the only way to get a top player in the NFL is catching teams selling assets." For the most part, I agree with that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I do think it's other ways. You could also tell it. Yeah. For the most part, that's exactly accurate. I got no pushback on that. That's good. Because it's a lot of different ways that can happen. So let's take some calls real quick. So let's get on the phones. I guess let's talk about this. First, let me turn on these phones. I didn't turn on the phones yet. Hold on. Let me turn them on first. Y'all give me 1 second to turn on the phones. All right, I got the phones on. All right. And for those, you know, who want to be the first to call, you know, because Coach Marv always beat y'all out. If you want to be the first to call, you got to put us on speed dial. That's how to do it. All right, so here we go. Boss Cowboy Sports.
What's going on, boss? I'm on right quick, man. I just want to explain my point, man. I know you didn't have no pushback. But I don't think some people don't understand. Mm-hmm. Listen, man. Look around the NFL. If you go pull up all the big time free agents that been acquired in the last 20 years, it's not that many. Not big time guys. So if you're gonna get a guy that got tread on his tires, still got great play, still got outstanding play left in him, just look around. You know, if you try to get him in free agency, you're in a bidding war.
Yeah.
If you wait for the team to cut him, you're in a bidding war. But like you said, if you ride around, it's like when you ride around and you see somebody got a vintage car to sell, you like, oh, you ain't waiting for it to get to the auction block. You going over there and make an offer right now because you're the only person bidding on that. So now, when you get teams when they're out there selling, they're just trying to sell to get assets. They're trying to get draft capital because they're in the rebuild, so they're in the selling market. So now, teams that come in, they give them some capital. You can get a player. And now when you go ahead and try to trade for a player, you already going to talk to that guy to say, hey, this is what we have to do restructure-wise for you to fit in this place because, you know, you want to be here, we're going to trade for you. And now a lot of that's already worked out before you even get the guy in the building. So this is what you have to find. This is the exact same thing Philadelphia did last year. They found a person that wanted to sell Tennessee, wanted to sell Brown. They jumped on it. They got it. They got in the door. They put some assets out there. And before Brown even got to the building, they had already signed into his extension. Mm-hmm. And that's how you got to find it. And then the rest of it, you got to find, and if you want to get some players, you may have to find, like you said, Marshall's guys, you know, that you could catch here and there. But if you want to get a big name, a big dog that still can play really well as a high-priced guy, you have to catch these teams that are selling. And you can catch the team. Everybody's not selling, but there are some teams that are selling, and you catch them right and give them some good. You could get a player in there because that team really doesn't care. They just want the asset. They just want the capital, the draft capital, for them to rebuild. So this is an opportunity here, and I think Dez is fostering the life in Dallas to Hopkins to say if the Joneses come and say we get you, we need to work this deal for you to be good. I think Dez is the person to say, hey man, there's a whole lot of other benefit than just making $20 million. A little bit here, if you work with them, the benefit of being in Dallas is much more after football in Dallas.
Facts. Mm-hmm.
So you need that type of person to not only sell the team, but sell to say, hey man, if you win here, man, it's off the chain. Look at me. I'm still off the chain, and I ain't played in the Cowboy land in 10 years.
Still eating. Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's where that comes in. So if our fans look at we're gonna go out here and free agents and sign some of these big time free agents, that's not gonna happen. Because big time free agents, if they were totally great on their teams, guess where they'll be at? On their teams. Right. The team ain't gonna let them go. And then if this their first contract, they're not trying to take nothing They ain't disgruntled. They trying to find their home, and they trying to get the bag, and they trying to get as much bag they can get. And we just can't go out there and just in no bidding war and just give people anything, because we have a good football team, so we need to catch this. If this is possible, we need to catch this wholesaler and get in the door, so we can be the first person to negotiate with them and go ahead, do what we got to do, and then get out the door with the goods and say, hey, now we gonna work with it. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
If that's where they want to go.
Right.
So and maybe they keep it, but it's hard to say they're keeping it low key. But sometimes I think that if it's low key, then I would say if it's some low key with a little smoke coming out about it, I'll feel good that it's going to happen. But if they go all out and start talking about how much they want him and all that stuff, then it ain't gonna happen. They just blowing smoke.
Yeah, that's smoke. And that's why I like where it came out. Yeah, I like that it came out from Diaz. That's why I said if it would have came out from Steve and them, it's like, why would you run up his price?
Right. And so and I think they ready to sell on Hopkins because they're trying to rebuild in Arizona, and they're going different. And he followed them. He done let them know that he's disgruntled and he don't want to be there. And so if team said, okay, there's no need to keep paying him killing our cap. If he doesn't want to be here, let's go ahead and get rid of him. And so we get something. If they feel that they're not going to let him be there, they don't want to release him and get nothing. They'll take something and say, hey, we just turn over, we just cut the bait on and let somebody else take the cap hit. And then the only way he's going to come here, though, when he come here, he's got to be willing to restructure that contract to fit where they want to be, there, so it doesn't cut them off from doing all the other things they need to do to get this team together ready for next year.
Right on. But, Coach, let me finish this content real quick, man. I appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear about Zak Martin. I'm waiting to hear that. I need to hear that.
Coach, I'm finna do that now. Right. I'm finna do that right now. Oh, man.
All right.
That was Coach. All right, we're going to open up the phones again. I just want to kind of give just a small little break before we get into the next side of the content. I said I was going to get into Zak Martin right now. I'm not. I'm going to do that after I talk about this. But I definitely want to talk about this first. Because this is good news. See, this is Jerry. I want y'all to listen to Uncle Jerry. All right. Speaking on Dak from Bobby Belt. So listen to this.
Jones was on the bus in Indy. Bobby was there flying out to the combine over the weekend. Jerry says Mike McCarthy calling the offense, that will be best for Dak.
I've done it.
Hold on. Y'all forgive me.
Done it umpteen times. And sit down with Mike, and he talks about nuances of the offense and nuances of the play calling. And I can't tell you how many times I've done it over a beer or just talking to him and realized that's not what we were doing. We weren't doing it that way. We were...
Ooh, so you got to catch that. You got to catch that. Ooh. See, man, listen, so I'm a great listener, man. Oh. He literally said it was times that he just been sitting there. See, y'all need to listen. Listen at that Mike talk football. And as he was watching the games, he was saying, we not doing what we discussed. Ooh. Boy, y'all. Man, hold on. Listen. Hold on.
Sit down with Mike, and he talks about nuances of the offense and nuances of the play calling. And I can't tell you how many times I've done it over a beer or just talking to him and realized that's not what we were doing. We weren't doing it that way. We were doing it certainly with his complete supervision and with his complete authority to change. But the natural thing to do, to look at how to give more to what Dak can be, was to call on what Mike can bring to the table and the way he is addressing it.
Effective. He clearly sold them effectively on it, and that's good. I mean, if he's got confidence in what he can do, great. And I'm all for this move. If you're going to move on from Kellen Moore, I'm all for Mike McCarthy doing it because it gives us something to actually say, all right, this is what Mike's responsible for, and we can grade the results on the field, and we can contrast it against what was going on with Kellen Moore. But, you know, I mean, the fact that he approached them, wanted to make this pitch, so this isn't something they sought out and thought, this is what's best for Dak. So the fact that they're talking about this now means Mike came in there, gave them a plan, and they feel really good about it. And that's great. You need to feel good about it.
And it sounds like McCarthy sold Jerry and Steven or one or the other about how some of these offensive changes can cut down on Dak's turnovers.
I think that
Wait. Oh, Lord. Come on, man. Say, listen, y'all already know. Now I got to do this. I ain't did this in a while, man. I got to put on my damn clear out views. Ooh, I ain't rocked these clear out views in a long time. So you know it's real when I do this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Listen to this.
Design of what we put in place will...
Hold on. Dang. Hold on. Listen. Listen.
About how some of these offensive changes can cut down on Dak's turnovers.
I think the design of what we put in place will reduce risk for him.
Wait. What we put in place will reduce risk for him. Can anybody put in the chat what you think Jerry is talking about? Because I've seen a lot of people say Jerry just talking. This is that wee woo. No, this is not wee woo, dog. Because if y'all been keeping up with this channel, y'all already know what he talking about. He say the offense that we put in place will reduce risk. And my boy Trip, you hit it. Yep. The Truth MVP, you hit it. Yep, you hit it. Yep. Everybody that's been keeping up know exactly what he's talking about. Let me get my head out the way. Reduce the risk of options. Yep, he was talking about them freaking option routes. Listen, all I said was, what was he talking about? What was he talking about? Bro, I'm telling y'all, you better bet on Dak. Bet on Dak. See, this is showing that they had an in-depth discussion about what the breakdown was on the offense. See, a whole lot of people that follow other channels have no idea what he's talking about. It's other people that follow other channels right now, they wouldn't have even caught what Jerry was saying right there. But because we do our research together and we fight together, all of us, we know what Jerry talking about. And this is not wee woo. This is not. So let me keep playing it, man, because it get better. Here we go. Then we gonna talk about Zak Martin.
On turning the ball over. And also be additive on risk reward at the time to do it on the field or in the game.
Woo! Risk reward on when to do it in the game. So what was he talking about right there? Situational play calling. The same thing that we was talking about with Mike Lombardi. See, that's why Mike Lombardi was calling him a joystick play caller. So whether you like Jerry or not, you being real dishonest if you don't admit that he at least sound like he has been listening to Mike McCarthy. Huh? Can we just be real? Cause see, listen, bro. None of us like to be abused. You in a relationship with your lady or your man, and it was toxic. But guess what? You started to see some change. And when you start seeing that change, if you don't accept the change that you're starting to see, you the one that then become toxic. I don't want us toxic. I want us measured. Hold on, let me hit my button on that. Oh, wait. That was the perfect time to hit my button. I'm finna hit my button, damn it. Here we go. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. So I'm listening to Jerry Jones sound like that he been listening to Mike McCarthy, and we know what that speech is. Don't act like you don't know what that speech is. Jerry was talking, and Jerry said, and see, most of this stuff that I'm playing now is not out to the public. They leaked this out one time. You just had to find it in the right location. You ain't gonna find this all over Twitter, what Jerry said. I just so happen to find it. But I found it, and I know what I'm listening to, just like y'all know what y'all listening to, especially if you've been following this channel for some time. You already know that he was talking about option routes. You already know when he said, I was sitting there so many times while I was drinking a beer talking about the nuance of football, and I would look out there and I wouldn't see it. That was a shot at Kellen Moore. I'm telling you, man. Ooh, wait. See, this is why I'm getting a better feeling. I'm not saying I'm a sucker, because front office done let us down a lot. I'm not a sucker. But I also can see that there are some organizational changes, bruh. Just keep it real. We're not talking, say, put it like this. They took play calling from Jason Garrett. When Jason Garrett wanted it back, they said no. But see, Mike McCarthy done flexed so much, and he done showed so much excellence in his coaching that with one head coach they said no. With this head coach they was like yes. Listen. Cause I tell you, Bobby Bell was laying out some nuggets, like McDonald's nuggets. Listen. I'm talking, this is some good stuff. Listen.
And so I think that we and he will
hold on,
be able to handle the learning and the getting to the point to where we can execute it with his teammates. I don't think that's a dream at all. I think it's very real. He can do it, in my mind. And that's what we're getting.
What are they going to do conceptually or offensively to cut down turnovers?
Wait. What are they going to do to cut down on turnovers? Excellent question by Sean, from Sean and RJ. Excellent question. What did he say? What did Jerry say?
Jerry's
well, I mean, they're going to have a new play caller, so obviously they're going to throw fewer interceptions because they have a different play caller. Because that's what happened.
See right there, RJ being funny, but see, just being honest, RJ didn't pay attention enough. He really didn't, because he said that sarcastic. Oh, so they changed the play caller, so he's going to throw less interceptions. Like those interceptions had nothing to do with Kellen Moore. But see, for those who've been following this channel, y'all already know that Mike McCarthy, Dak, and a whole lot of people already pointed out that some of those interceptions was purely on the system. Purely. Dak had to read. Matter of fact, don't y'all remember when Michael Irvin said, that look would have tricked me, when he was talking about the interception versus Green Bay, and he was talking about how CeeDee Lamb was supposed to read a converted cover 2 and he misread it, but he was saying they showed a disguise that they never did before and it threw off the receiver. Dak knew it. Dak knew exactly what they was doing. He had the right read. CeeDee Lamb had it wrong. But then RJ, he being funny. So we just changed the play caller. So Dak is gonna Dak is gonna have less mistakes because this dude out. That's true. Accept it. I know it sound like an excuse for Dak, but now for those who actually been doing their homework, no, this is no excuse. This is just a fact. Listen.
To do conceptually or offensively to cut down turnovers, as Jerry's referring
Well, I mean, they're going to have a new play caller, so obviously they're going to throw fewer interceptions because they have a different play caller. Because that's what happened.
I mean, I think part of it, and there's another cut in here where Jerry talks about essentially reducing the reads and like making it a shorter read and just saying, let's cut out this half of it, let's make it a one side of the field read or whatever else, just reducing the number of progressions that he can bounce through.
Regress Scott?
See, here they go again. He said indictment. Then Sean said indictment, like an indictment on Dak. And then RJ said Dakgression, like Dak regress. So basically, they misreading this. In their mind, they saying for Mike McCarthy to come in and simplify the offense, in their mind, they reading it like, well, that's indictment on Dak. Because no offense should have to be simplified. That's what's happening with them. And that's why they misreading it. Yeah, they totally misread. They way off on this. You know what I mean? It's especially Sean. It's almost like Sean is trying to find something that's not there. He keep referring to all of this pushback on Kellen Moore some kind of way being a reflection on Dak. I don't know why he keep doing it, but he keep doing that. It's like he fishing for it to be some kind of way, some angle about Dak. So that's why he put out there indictment, digression.
I think this is the way Mike views quarterback play in general, so I don't know in terms of that's the way he's set up his offenses before.
You think he cut Aaron Rodgers' field in half?
No, I think that's...
You see what he's doing? You think he cut Aaron Rodgers' field in half? See, it's trying to find a boogeyman that's not there. Did they cut? See, well, my question, if I was sitting on there, would have been, no, but did Aaron Rodgers have Kellen Moore? See, that's the difference. See, you don't have to cut Aaron Rodgers' field in half. You only have to cut that field in half when your offensive coordinator had too much on the field. See, yeah, a lot of people miss what I just said right there. See, because you got to realize what they was asking. They was asking Dak to read 4 option routes sometime at the same time. So yes, you want to cut that down, Sean. Yes, you want to cut that down, RJ. Even Kurt Warner then was doing film breakdowns, and they will watch all our receivers stop at the same time. And they will say, how does Dak actually have a progression when all your weapons are stopping at the same time? What is his progression? That's why you have to have at least staggered routes so that your quarterback can have a timing and a gauge conceptually. So they reading it like, we cutting it down because this is like a indictment on Dak and his ability. No, all it is what everybody has been saying, and y'all gotta just go ahead and just agree with that it was Kellen Moore. I know it feels good and it makes sense to blame Dak, but it's not Dak. It was Kellen Moore. And those who really know football know that. A lot of stat nerds, they don't. They don't get it. They keep trying to go back to Dak. But here we go. Let's keep going because that ain't the good part. That's just mess. Here we go. Listen.
Certain aspects of what they were designing is similar to what's going to be here. And so because of that, I think it's just the question is it an indictment that Mike McCarthy is saying you need my scheme and these aspects of it in order to not turn the ball over?
Hold on real quick. Let me clean this up.
And look, Aaron Rodgers did a great job, not turning the ball over during those years with McCarthy. Maybe that's part of what McCarthy's pitch was look, this has been shown to work. Look at how Aaron took care of the ball, how we were able to do things here with my offense. Look how Brett Favre thrived in 07 with me under my circumstances. But I think a big part of what this is going to be, not just from what Jerry said, what Mike said out in Indy this week, Steven, but just also when you talk to people there in Indy and get a sense of, hey, what is this going to look like? What are these changes going to be? It's going to be an emphasis on let's be more complex before the snap. Let's try to, just as
we all love to hear that.
Just as defenses disguise certain things and stuff like that. Let's do that on offense. Let's try and match that and disguise what we're tipping a little bit and get these defenses into tougher looks than they're used to. And then on post snap, let's simplify it.
Coach Moss say with a super chat, he said, boss, didn't McCarthy say no QB he ever worked with didn't like option routes? Exactly. That's exactly what he said. He said coaches, he said quarterbacks that I work with wasn't a fan of them. And see, that's the only thing I hate about McCarthy is saying it the way he said it, coach. The only problem with McCarthy saying it the way that he said that is it didn't put the weight of what he was saying on it. Because he said quarterbacks I've worked with. If you go through the resume of quarterbacks that he developed. See, because this is also what's going on. Can I be honest? You know what else is going on? It's a whole lot of people. Using Aaron Rodgers against Mike McCarthy. It's a whole lot of people that's basically saying, well, you had Aaron Rodgers, so who did you coach? As if Mike McCarthy's coaching career started with Aaron. Like it wasn't over there with Montana and Steve Young. Like it wasn't with Brent Favre. Like when Aaron Rodgers first came into the league, I dare any one of y'all go look up his preseason games. You can Google it. Go look at Aaron Rodgers' first preseason games. I dare you. Go look at Aaron Rodgers and see him holding the ball like this with two hands. Very, very bad mechanics. And I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. Guess who fixed it? Mike. Mike fixed it. But see, he don't get no credit for being a quarterback coach. He don't get no credit for Aaron. None. Matter of fact, people use Aaron to make it sound like he's, well, you just had to show up to work. Shoot, you had Aaron. You ain't have to do nothing. Just shit. You had Aaron. Now Aaron is such a headache that even the whole NFL is starting to rebel against Aaron Rodgers. If anything, what we should know about Aaron Rodgers right now, that should even make you have more confidence in Mike McCarthy because of how weird Aaron has proven to be, allegedly. You see how cocky and arrogant, and this dude had to manage that for years. Shit. Man, you better peep game. But here we go. Let's keep going.
And let's make it quicker. I think it's going to be a lot of quick strike throws. It's going to be a lot of fast timing stuff. Get the ball out fast. If they hit big passing plays next year, it's going to be yak stuff. It's going to be catch it and run. And so I think that's
West Coast.
More. It is more pre-snap complexities and more post-snap simplicity. I think is the best way to just boil it down.
Look. Are we going to give Mike credit on Aaron Rodgers' lack of interceptions? I mean, this is 6.86.
Listen, 686. Listen to errant interceptions under Mike McCarthy's system. Listen.
Are we going to give Mike credit on Aaron Rodgers' lack of interceptions? I mean, this is 686-5876.
686-5786. What? And then we have the nerve to question Mike McCarthy's offense? Aaron Rodgers was never throwing no major interceptions because they didn't have dumb option routes in it. And then some of y'all ain't even putting it together while I keep telling y'all Dak is finna have a crazy good year. I'm telling you before it happened. I was the same dude warning y'all that Kellen Moore was the problem the whole time. I was telling y'all the whole time. I was ringing the alarm the best I could. I was ringing the alarm. I was ringing it. So you mean to tell me this system had Aaron Rodgers on some 5'6", 5'4", 7"? My boy C say, boss, you too deep for these people. Man, I hope that's not true. I really hope that's not the case, dog. I really hope this is not that deep. Cause to me it seems like it's common sense, see? You feel me? See, this feel like it's common sense, right? So under one system, you had to throw with massive anticipation. Under this new system, your quarterbacks has never been interception machines. None of them. But we just think Dak is gonna stay at an interception level? It don't even make sense. And I don't see how that's deep too. I really don't think how that's deep. It just, to me, it's common sense. So here we go.
2-4-5-4. Like, those are his interception totals for a 12-year stretch.
I'm not giving him credit. I'm saying, but if he's
asking Bobby to give Mike credit for anything.
Oh, wait. So you can't skip that. See, hold on. Why did you just say that, Sean?
Like, those are his interception totals for a 12-year stretch.
I'm not giving him credit. I'm saying, but if he's
asking Bobby to give Mike credit for anything.
He say, you asking Bobby to give Mike credit for anything? What you mean by that, Sean? See, I done already peep game on what's going on. You want to know what's really going on? What's really likely going on? See, Bobby Belt is real good friends with James Slater. And Mike McCarthy and James Slater was at odds because she was the one that leaked about Mike Nolan, those players not liking him. And Mike McCarthy didn't like the fact that she leaked that. He wanted any kind of turmoil to stay in the house. And so Mike McCarthy has been snarky with James Slater. See, I'm going to tell you the truth, bruh. Yeah. But that's also keeping it real. Bobby Belt's close friend. Yeah, that's why Sean said that. Like, you go say anything good about Mike McCarthy. But basically saying this, can we trust what you say about Mike McCarthy because you seem to have it out for him? Yeah. Basically, with some people in the media, yes, he is under attack. Because good boy Kellen Moore, they had real bullets that they could have fired at him. Real bullets. And they don't shoot. But they shooting at Mike McCarthy before he ever even... They acting like Mike McCarthy is a bum. Wasn't it Bobby Belt that asked Michael Lombardi? Wasn't it him that asked? What do you think the fans should be concerned about with Mike McCarthy calling plays? And Michael Lombardi peeped it. He peeped it quick. I showed it on the last show. Mike Lombardi said, hold on. Wait. What Super Bowls have Kellen Moore won? Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Sleeping on me now, cooking his nigga.
See, that's exactly what that means. Sleeping on me, Now it's a crook in your neck. See, you was trying to sleep on me. See, Bobby Belt asked him straight up, what should the fans be concerned about with the change? He was like, Lombardi was like, almost like, why you capping for Kellen? Did y'all see that? Or was it just me? Was it just me that saw that? He said, hold on, what, please. But say play it again. I'll play it again. I'm gonna see Big Sad tell them. That's real. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. See, because some people might think I'm just talking. So let me go pull the clip and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you him say that. Hold on real quick. It's gonna take me a second though. I gotta go pull it. It's in my folders. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show y'all though, man. That boy. Whoo. Let me go find it. Here it is. It's right here. All right, give me a second. Now I gotta find exactly where that clip is, though. What was that clip? That boy, Mike Lombardi went hard. Hold on, here we go. Y'all check it out. Here it is.
30 to 35% is going to change. Given what you know about Mike McCarthy, your thoughts on Kellen Moore, what would be your biggest concern for Cowboys fans in this transition to McCarthy? Like, what's the biggest thing the Cowboys fans might have to worry about McCarthy running the offense?
You know, I don't. I mean, look, McCarthy's won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. I missed Kellen Moore's Super Bowl win. I must have missed that. I don't know where was I was out. I must have been in Utah.
Wait,
Run it up.
Wait. He like, why you capping for this dude? Huh? Boy, say y'all better peep game. See, I peep, bro. Listen, you can't see that might go over y'all head. That don't go over my head. I'm like, wait, listen.
Fans in this transition to McCarthy, like, what's the biggest thing the Cowboys fans might have to worry about McCarthy running the offense?
You know, I don't. I mean, look, McCarthy's won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. I missed Kellen Moore's Super Bowl win. I must have missed that. I don't know where was I was out. I must have been in Utah. I mean, like, I missed this, right? Like, you guys talk like you're talking about replacing.
He talking right at Bobby. You guys talk like, oh, see, come on now. Can we clap it up? Come on, yeah, let's clap it up together. Come on. Clap it up. Clap it up, baby. Clap it up. That boy say, you guys talk like. Ooh, see. Thank you, Santana. That boy says, Santana say, just play it, boss. Just play it. Ooh, hold on. I'm going to let it play. Coach say, just let the whole rep play. I'm going to let the whole thing play. All right, here we go.
GM Michael Lombardi, host of the GM Shuffle podcast. Michael, when you look at McCarthy taking over this offense, and, you know, we've heard estimates of 30 to 35% is going to change. Given what you know about Mike McCarthy, your thoughts on Kellen Moore, what would be your biggest concern for Cowboys fans in this transition to McCarthy? Like, what's the biggest thing the Cowboys fans might have to worry about McCarthy running the offense?
You know, I don't. I mean, look, McCarthy's won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. I missed Kellen Moore's Super Bowl win. I must have missed that. I don't know where was I was out. I must have been in Utah. I mean, like, I missed this, right? Like, you guys talk like you're talking about replacing Sid Gilman or Clark Shaughnessy. I mean, what he's going to do is pace the game. He's going to run more of what he wants to run. I never understood why he went to Dallas to not call plays. He won a Super Bowl calling plays. You can say he's not a great play caller. Well, he won a Super Bowl doing it. So he's going to manage the game. The head coach has to have a connection to the quarterback. He's got to be able to demonstrate the game through the quarterback. I think it's going to be critical. I don't see it as a downfall. I see them, they have to be physically offense. I mean, they're going to re-sign Pollard. You know that.
All right, so I did a whole show about that. So if y'all want to really hear my whole breakdown, go to the show that I just did about 5 hours ago. Man, listen, when I said this was the best interview of the whole year, Michael Lombardi to date. It was the best interview of the whole year of how man, y'all see how he went at them dudes. He say, man, y'all talk like this dude a chump or something, basically. That's basically what he was saying. He basically saying, what's up with y'all pessimism on Mike? Like that, he like, man, I must have been in Utah or something. What am I missing? Can we go and hit the machine gun? Ooh. So I know some of y'all like boss of conspiracy theorists, boss, No. So you go call Michael Lombardi a conspiracy theorist, a former GM, Super Bowl winner, NFL analyst, you know what I mean? Basically got one of the best popping podcasts on football going. See, y'all like to attack us like, oh, you just a YouTuber, boss. But ain't it funny that I'm saying the exact same thing Mike Lombardi was saying? Let me go back to this, because I told you, listen, this is just one. When I tell you it's a bunch of nuggets that came out of Bobby Belt, trust me, this is why y'all gotta follow this channel too, bro, because honestly, a lot of people ain't got the skills to do this, to be honest. Like, a lot of people don't have the listening skills to be able to observe and just draw out the facts, you know what I mean? It's just a gift. So that's why people should follow this channel, because you go get insights you're not gonna hear from no other place. Oh, Montana, I just saw your super chat. My bad, bro. Almost missed it. Hold on real quick. He said, we got two juggers, Mike's, one named McCarthy and the other named Lombardi. I'm rocking with both of them. My man said I must have been in Utah. Bro, exactly. Bro, like what was I in Utah? Oh man, I love it, man. No. My boy Will say this is the first time I heard it from Lombardi, though. No, this is not the first time he talked about Kellen Moore. I got proof. I got evidence. Hey, listen, y'all let me know if y'all want to play it. No, he's been on his head. I got evidence of that. He's been a staunch advocate against Kellen Moore. Yeah, I know I'm goofy, bro. Yeah, but hey, I love this, man. It's like when I see good news, when I see, like, my boy say you goofy. Listen, bro, when I see good stuff like this, bro, because listen, I see last year was a bad year for me, y'all. I want y'all to really understand that. See, I chose to go after Kellen Moore with everything I had. That is not put it like this. On business, that wasn't smart. On business, because there's so many people that felt safe with his number one offense. So when I chose to go at him, I knew I was gonna limit my own growth of the channel. I knew it. So, and I saw from y'all that y'all was tired of me warning about Kellen Moore. Boss, we talking about this again, boss? Can we talk about something else? No, I asked, yeah, we can, but why would I talk about stuff that's not the biggest problem? So this year is different. This year I get to laugh, I get to smile, I get to talk about my boy Landlord. I'm gonna call you Landlord. I'm gonna call you. I get to talk about how this year we likely set up to win it all. Last year I had to be the negative ass Nancy of the YouTube community, saying I know y'all liking his 12 wins, but that dude Kellen Moore, he gonna mess it up. Nobody want to be that dude, but when you being loyal to your team, you got to stand by yourself and warn sometimes. You got to sometimes be the only one sounding the alarm. Even though I wasn't. But I definitely put the most time on it. There ain't nobody put no time on going after Kellen Moore like me. Nobody. Now, a lot of us did work. Not knocking nobody in the community, because all of us band together. Not all of us, a lot of us band together. A lot of us band together. Me and Landlord band together. Me and J Tuck. A whole lot of us band together to go at Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I was the only one. But listen, y'all, I was on his head. All right, so here we go. Listen, though. I'm going to call you in a minute, Landlord.
But if he's going in there pitching in general, the idea of his offense, he can go, look, we didn't turn the ball over.
I understand.
All right.
Yeah. So basically, that was we talking about the nuggets from Bobby Belt. Because it was some good nuggets, man. I got to keep it real, man. It was a lot of good nuggets. Let me call my boy Landlord. I told him I was going to call him. Then we go get into some of these other nuggets that only I dig up. Like most people don't know how. See, I know how to dig. See, when you trying to dig for gold, sometimes you go get dirty, man. You know what I'm saying? I know how to get dirty for this stuff. You know what I mean? I want y'all to hear me on that. When you digging for gold, somebody say Lombardi's Mike McCarthy's burner cap. I know. I know. Nah, he just Mike Lombardi just, man, he's to me, he understand the game, just keeping it real. You know, it's a reason why he sounds just like Coach Moore. Real talk. I'm calling Landlord. Landlord, I'm calling you now, big dog.
What's happening, bro?
What's happening?
What's going on, man?
Chillin'.
Hey, I heard them big old shots they shooting that killing, man. I'm feeling.
Man, yes indeed, bro. Yes indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was saying the same thing, man. I don't know what Golden Child did. I don't know what he do, but he tricked the Joneses into believing into his system more than the players.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he did, and that changed the team's mentality on going out to free agents and everything, man. Yes. Think about it. Why you think we getting Dennis Houston?
Right.
Why you think we letting go stars like Amari Cooper? Because Kellen Moore sitting up there selling dollar bill Jones, what I call them, because he ain't paying no country boy nothing. They sitting up here telling Steven Jones that, hey, you don't need this player or that player. You can just give me this player, and I can make the system be the star. You see what I'm saying? It made you undervalue the Jimmys and Joes over the X's and O's, and I don't like that. That's why we ended up, failing when we playing top tier talent. You know what I'm saying? You can't match up athletically.
Yep. Fact.
Yeah.
So hold on, Landlord. I'm finna play something to confirm exactly what you saying, bro.
Let's do it.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, yeah. See, that's why I say I could tell they been in talks. Hold on real quick. Let me play this real quick.
Same offense, or will you go back to what Mike used to run in Green Bay?
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
I don't know if you heard that, Landlord. Did you hear that?
I can't hear what happened.
Oh, okay. So this was Jerry Jones at the Senior Bowl, and they was asking them what's gonna be the changes of Mike McCarthy. So I'm gonna play it one more time, and I'm gonna tell you. Then we go talk about it. Listen.
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times.
Hold on, let me play the question again because I want everybody to know and hear this question real clear. Hold on real quick.
Same offense, or will you go back to what Mike used to run in Green Bay?
He said basically, will you run the same offense, or will you go back to what Mike McCarthy used to run in Green Bay? Very direct question. Listen to Jerry's answer, and I'm going to tell you what he said. Give me 1 second there, Lord. Y'all listen.
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
But more importantly, the personnel. So what he said is going to be, basically according to current times, basically is what he's saying. But he said more importantly, it's going to be the personnel that's going to be different. Going to Landlord's point. Landlord raised a hell of a point saying that because of Kellen Moore, they was selling and they was listening to Kellen Moore sell them that we don't need a number one. So now that he out the building, they came to their senses like, we rolling with Mike. And Mike in this system ain't gonna be like Kellen, acting like he don't need weapons.
Yeah. And something I want the people that's real pessimistic about this change to think about too. This something I ain't heard nobody talk about it. It's finna blow your mind because it's the truth. Okay, all the good stuff that Kellen did, you know what I'm saying? The stuff that got us to number one, don't be too concerned about that leaving. You wanna know why, boss?
Because they can still take
Dak know the offense too.
Right. They can just take it.
Duh. Dak been running.
Look, Dak been running this offense for 3 years now. He know the offense, bro. Dak knows this offense by now. He probably knows it just as good as Kellen. So all the good stuff that we was doing, don't worry about it. Mike McCarthy been sitting up there learning, taking notes, lurking in the background too. You know what I'm saying? He's been seeing what this personnel can do good and bad. You know what I'm saying? All these people thinking it's gonna be a blank canvas and we just gonna start throwing paint at it. No, we gonna start. We gonna start. Look, we gonna start at a pretty decent picture, and we gonna make it into a Mona Lisa. We gonna make it into a masterpiece. When you get a real artist in front of that picture, he gonna finish it. He gonna put the finishing touches on it. All them stupid plays and stupid possessions we used to have when we doing all this goofy stuff, and we be sitting up here like, why is we doing this? What's going on? Why we doing that? Mike McCarthy gonna understand you don't do all of that goofy stuff. You do effective stuff. See, look, why you think, like, this a perfect example. On that last drive when we was at San Francisco, right? There's no way in hell you supposed to not gain a yard, boss. Bruh. We didn't gain a yard, bro. Now we can say, okay, we didn't get a first down. We didn't gain a yard. Bruh. We couldn't even get risky or gamble or nothing. We had to straight punt the ball. In a critical situation like that, bro, no veteran OC is going to put you in a situation like that. You want to know why? They got a couple of plays that's going to get you 5 to 6 yards here and there. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? They got a bag to go dig in. This man had no bag. He was bagless.
He was bagless.
Oh, hell no. In them situations, he's bagless. Look, Mike McCarthy got this long line of stuff that he can go pull for. He'd have been in every situation multiple times.
You want answers?
Multiple times with multiple different quarterbacks and multiple different schemes, multiple different situations. Kellen Moore has not did that. And this is my last thing I want to say that got me super excited about this year is this our first time having a real veteran play caller. Jason Garrett was learning on the job. He was fresh out of DMV getting the keys to a Corvette. Kellen Moore was fresh out of DMV with keys to a Corvette. Now we got Dale Earnhardt Jr., you know what I'm saying, coming straight in here, hopping in this vehicle. You want to run that motor, man. So y'all need to be happy. We got the problem out the way. We got the problem out the way. And like you said on the other show, boss, this man, Mike McCarthy, done got you an average of 12 wins on a regular season in normal circumstances. Your quarterback missed 5 games. He still got you 12 wins that got you to the second round of the playoffs. Okay? And that's with a dysfunctional offense. Right. Just imagine when he got people with him that's doing what he know he want to do. Man. Y'all better put some respect on Big Mike, bro. This team Big Mike over here, man. We finna go. Mike finna show us how to win for real, bro.
Team Big Mike. Team Big Mike. Team Big Mike. Team
Real
Big
talk,
Mike.
bro.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all better put some respect on Mike name. You know he gotta be a cold mother. Shut your mouth to be able to convince Jerry Jones and them to get Kellen Moore out the bill. Yes. You was a bad boy. That boy ain't nothing to play with. He ain't nothing to play with. He ain't nothing to play with, boss.
Underrated point, bro. Like the politics, see, sometimes, in my opinion, landlord, like, it's been a lot of people, talking about Sean Payton before he got scooped up. Sometimes you got to know when a coach is perfect for your team. See, because I always say, people say, I would take Mahomes over Dak. I almost guarantee you Mahomes would not be the same quarterback in Dallas.
Nah, he wouldn't.
He would not, because it's so much dysfunction, it's so much mess, it's so much politics. He's always been loved over there. He ain't never been a quarterback that was doing good but yet hated. Talking about Mahomes.
Look, this is a perfect example. You can look at the Richardson kid that's coming out of Florida. We see he got all this potential and talent, right? He's super fast, he's big and all that. Man, that man whole fate, his whole career depends on where he lands. Real talk. Like he might go to the wrong place and be terrible. Right. Just like my boy Bryce Young, man. If he don't fall in the right spot, bro, he might have a bad career. Yeah. It's about where you land, bro. It's about where you land.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I was talking to a football trainer today, bro. We had that conversation. He said Bryce Young. He said, I don't like Bryce Young. I said, you don't like Peter Ward? Not Peter Ward. Warwick Dunn? Not Warwick Dunn. What was the quarterback for Florida State?
Talking about Jameis Winston?
No, it wasn't Jameis Winston. It was Charlie Ward. Yeah. I said, you don't like Charlie Ward? And he was like, good comp. I said, yeah, that dude is Charlie Ward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then he said he ain't gonna play good in the NFL. I said, bro, he got to go to the right team. I said, I guarantee if he went to San Fran, the whole league would be in trouble.
We gonna be. I'm telling you, we gonna be in danger.
Yeah.
See, look, all of that, bro. Most of that stuff, most of the doubters about Bryce has got to be because of his size, bro.
That's it.
But I'm here to tell you, that dude is electric, bro. That dude's special, bro.
He unorthodox. His style.
That dude is special, man.
Yeah, that's why I call him
I'm
Charlie
telling you
Ward.
straight up.
I haven't seen people play quarterback like him since Charlie Ward.
Yeah, that dude's nice, bro. He by far the best quarterback in this draft.
Like he a point guard.
Bro, they was comparing this boy to Steph. They was comparing him to Steph Curry in college.
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah.
His game. It's unorthodox. Like he one of them dudes, and I was telling my partner this as a corner. I say, bro, with him, you gotta cover all day.
All day long. You right. He never give up on the play. That's what's scary about him.
Yeah.
Like the thing, he got so much poise. It gets to the point where you like, bro, throw the ball. Like he don't care about no danger. He just super calm. You start getting scared. Like, bro, do you realize you are about to get hit? He don't never get scared or ramble at all. Like he's super calm.
Hey,
like I watched him real closely.
We done turned it to the draft show, bro. Let me get back to
the
But find you, bro. I appreciate you helping the show, blessing the show with your knowledge, man. Tell everybody where they can find you, landlord.
Already, man. Landlord from Alabama with the same handle on all social media, man. I appreciate you, man. You already know how y'all get down over there, boss. We appreciate you, everything you do for the nation, sir.
You too, sir.
Already.
All right, let's get it. That was the homie landlord, man. I said I was gonna call old boy, so we was talking on the phone today. I said, damn, we need to talk about that on the show. And sure enough, he came through. Appreciate that, landlord. All right, let me keep going though, cause it's some more. It's some real stuff here. Let me start with the heavy stuff. Y'all might not ready for this, but here we go.
This in the future.
What else?
Connected to that a little bit, I wonder, in terms of their desire to see things be stable. I think the Cowboys are starting to think a lot more seriously about life after Zak Martin.
Y'all weren't ready for that.
Yep. And I think they still think he can play at a really high level, but I think they learned from the way they've handled.
Hold on, I missed your super chat. The Reaper, my bad. Let me go find your super chat. Let me go find Reaper super chat real quick. My fault. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the Reaper super chat. I don't see it. Reaper, put your comment back in there. Put whatever you put in that super chat and I'll address it, big dog. Yeah, because I believe you did it. You have to type a lot like that. Some of y'all be like, I left a super chat, and there don't be no damn super chat in there. Oh, one-handed bandit. I know you did, and I did put yours up. I just forgot to read it, my dog. I was doing too much. But he said Mike even had Brent Huntley win games for him at Green Bay when Rodgers broke his collarbone, and Huntley is in the XFL. Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Reaper was talking about your super chat. I appreciate y'all looking out for each other. That allowed me to get back to it. Yeah, that's true, bro. That's a good point, bro. Like, McCarthy is just underrated, bro. Just period. Like, and he just not getting no respect, and he ain't getting no respect from us. But let me go back to this because I don't know if y'all caught that, but let me play that again, man, of what the noise that Bobby Belt is hearing.
Connected to that a little bit, I wonder, in terms of their their desire to see things be stable, I think the Cowboys are starting to think a lot more seriously about life after Zak Martin. And I think they still think he can play at a really high level, but I think they learned from the way they've handled the Tyron Smith situation that they wish they would have had contingencies in place longer ago. And I think now they're saying, look, if Zak Martin decides to hang it up in the next year or two, we need to be more prepared for that. So Zak Martin turns 33 next season. He's older than Tyron Smith. He's played in just 11 fewer games despite entering the league in Tyron's 4th season, which, by the way, that's just a wild note right there. Zak Martin is older than Tyron Smith, and his rookie season was Tyron's 4th season.
That
just
crazy?
tells you how young Tyron was when he came into the NFL. But he was the most emotional that I saw after the San Francisco game. That he was the one that looked the most. He kind of hugged a coach and was teary-eyed. And I remember seeing at the time going like, wow, that looked almost reflective, the way he was acting. And so I think the Cowboys are really dialed in and keenly aware of the fact that where Martin is in his career and making sure, hey, whenever he's done with football, maybe it is 3 years from now, but maybe it's just a year, we need to start getting things in place and start getting ready. And so I think that that's a big consideration
Smart.
for them right now. And then one of the other big things I think coming out of this week,
And so the Reaper said when he heard that, he said, Boss Cowboy Sports, laugh out loud. We are thinking life without Zak Martin, but we can't figure out left guard. Yeah. They are thinking about it too. Because the question is Bobby just talking? Boss, he not just talking, man. See, Coach Paul said, Ben DiNucci looks good in the XFL McCarthy. We not doing that, Coach. I'm not doing that. But now I believe Bobby Belt on this. I definitely believe that Bobby Belt is telling the truth on this. So, see, because I'm going to show y'all from a different way that I believe it. I want y'all to check this out. All right, so check this out. This is Jerry Jones. All of this is from Bobby Belt too. Listen, this is all on Bobby Belt Twitter. So Bobby Belt has blessed us this week. He has been a blessing to the nation this week. But listen to Bobby Belt. This is on Bobby Belt Twitter. Look.
When I see something on the field that would logically tell you you need to start looking ahead.
What did he say? When I see something on the field that makes you say, logically, we need to start looking ahead. I heard that right. You did too. Listen. See, he was referring to Dak, but this is also showing that they have a process now to where they're starting to look at you and they starting to say, you know what? We need to be way ahead of replacing you, not behind. Listen.
When I see something on the field that would logically tell you you need to start looking ahead, i.e. past that, I don't see that kind of thing happening in the next years.
He said, when I see that, I pass Dak. But that don't mean he passed everybody. That don't mean he passed everybody. See, isn't it funny that he having a conversation about, I think this is actually good management. My boy Jason Garrett say bad management. I think this is good management. See, this is, to me, how you should manage. You don't wait till the wheels fall off. You start looking on the field and you start saying, we need to start low-key preparing now for Zak Martin. It makes sense to me. All the way. And I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's smart. Because, see, when you count on Tyron Smith, every year, and then you gotta have these emergency plans because he get hurt every year. When are you gonna learn, bro? When you gonna learn? And see, that's what Bobby Bell was talking about. He was like, they have, yes, Day Walker. See, perfect. Well said, Day Walker. This ain't bad. Like Day Walker said it best. This is preservation. It's perfect.
You speak Swahili?
Yeah. And then the Reaper said, Boss Cowboy, do they pat straight? Do the pat straight? Trade Zak Martin for a second and get a replacement now. I think you might even still get a first for him, bro. You still might. His reputation's so good in the league. You could probably get 2 picks for him. A first or maybe a second and a fifth. Man, you talking about, man, that dude's name is gold in the league. And you could. It would be unorthodox. I would be shocked out this world if they did. But I don't think Bobby Belt is lying, especially when you add it to what Jerry said.
And I say years.
Yeah. So he said basically, when I look at that list and I start trying to say, based on what I see on the field, is it time to start thinking about your replacement a lot? Let me ask y'all a question. Based on what you see on the field, is it time to start thinking about Zak Martin replacement? If you said yes, you being honest. You have to start thinking about it now. You just have to. And see, and I do understand the temptation to think like this. I ain't even mad at this. Guys like that, you let them retire Cowboy. Unfortunately, I can't. Well, I hope they don't. I hope they don't. Because as much as I love Zak Martin don't mean to this organization what Montana meant to San Fran. And they traded him to Kansas City. As much as I love Zak Martin, he does not mean as much as Jerry Rice meant to San Fran. But they traded him. And they went younger. You know, one thing I will want our front office to do is make these hard decisions without their hearts. Make these business decisions. Because at the end of the day, especially you talking about these type guys, nobody doubting his athleticism, his dominance, his professionalism, his leadership. He has been a true gold blessing the entire time to the entire organization. And even then, you got to be open to let them go. And get value for them when you can. Sad but true. But sad but true. And actually, not even too sad. Because at the end of the day, Zak Martin is a multi-millionaire. He will always be known as a Dallas Cowboy wherever he goes. He always gonna have a media job or some type of job in Dallas for the rest of his life. He'll just, if he quit right now, he will be the head coach making $200,000 for some high school with no experience in Dallas. I don't feel sorry for Zak Martin. I just don't. I feel sorry for us who got to go to work every day. Shit. I feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for him. So Coach Bob say, no, not now. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's now. I agree. Not now, but should they start thinking about it? You know what I mean? Should they start getting his replacement potentially in the building? I say, yeah. No, not now, but draft a guard, get one of these young tackles ready and this old lot. Yeah, I agree. Perfectly. That's exactly how I see it. And now is the time to start thinking about it, not when his wheels officially fall off. And I'm glad to hear, to be honest, that our front office is actually doing that. That's why I said, man, to see Bobby Belt, he let out some nuggets, and a lot of people just missed it. I ain't miss it. I'm like, what? Y'all talking about, y'all strongly considering preparing for his departure? Maybe not this year, but maybe in the next 3 years? Hey, man, sound good to me. So let's keep going, because, see, Bobby had some more nuggets. See, I thought I was done. I'm not done. So, Bobby, first of all, Bobby the one that let out the stuff on the Hopkins. Bobby talked about Zak Martin, but Bobby kept talking. Bobby had a good day. Y'all check this out. Here we go.
And then one of the other big things I think coming out of this week, I feel bearish at the moment on Donovan Wilson coming back.
Is that good or bad?
Bearish in the
That's bad.
stock market is bad. Bullish is good.
So I don't think it's.
Why can't they just do
What good or bad?
Good or bad?
Why do I gotta bearish?
Why are animals in there?
Why are bulls good and bears bad?
Bulls are good.
Bulls are good depending
I
on
guess.
who you're asking, I guess. No, I think Mike McCarthy would love him.
Bobby did have a good day. He did. Bobby had a good day. Bobby had a damn good day. Bobby was working. Listen, Bobby been working his sources. See, some guys, when they go out to the, combine and stuff like that, they prima donnas. Bobby out there getting a story. Ooh-wee. Bobby out there talking. He out there finding out what's going on. He talking to people in the building. Listen.
In there.
Why are bulls good and bears bad?
Bulls are good.
Bulls are good depending on who you're
know.
asking, I guess. No, I think Mike McCarthy would love him back. I think Dan Quinn would love him back. I think they would fight tooth and nail to make sure Donovan Wilson's on this roster next year. But is the money going to work out? Is the dollar figure, is the gap that's going to be there, which I think there's going to be a gap, is that gap going to close enough? This team wants him back, and I think Donovan Wilson would like to be back here, but the Cowboys place one of the lowest values in the league on the safety position.
He not lying. He not lying. He not lying. I don't think Bobby lying on this one, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. It all add up what he's saying. It does. Yeah, we don't put a lot of. Look how hard we fought Curse to give him $5 million. Look how hard we fought Curse. This organization don't value safety. Look how cheap we went on safety. It just worked. It just worked. We went and dusted off Malik Hooker, who had a 99% chance of being re-injured, according to injurypredictor.com. We dusted him off and said, okay, put him back there in the safety room. Dusted him off. We took Curse. I was high on Curse, but most people was not high on Curse. Will McClay and Dan Quinn made it work. So I think he's telling the truth on the future.
And Wilson is going to have a market on the open market. And
He right.
The Cowboys are going to have to compete with that, financially.
That's just some of the combine notebook being emptied by Roberto Belt back from Indianapolis. Was that a good
Yeah. So like, as I'm just kind of, listening to, people as they work their sources, I'm just being honest. I don't think it's a good sign for the return of Donovan Wilson. Now, my question is, now this is a good thought. I like this thought, Coach. I like this thought by Coach. This is a very good thought by Coach. This is good economics talk by Coach. He said, boss, too many good FAs, safeties in the market for Wilson to get a big deal. So this is, when it's a lot of safeties in the market, that does hurt. That helps the team. You right on that, Coach. So with that, we go see. But this is the issue, and this is the problem, being honest with you, Coach. this is something else that they talked about today that I learned for the first time today. That a lot of teams don't just go to the combine to look at the players. A lot of times, the reason why they come out there early the way that they do, because remember, the combine didn't really get going until Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? But people was out there all the way up until like last week. What was going on? So this is the first thing that I learned today. I didn't never know this. This is also a week to where a lot of agents are in Indianapolis. A lot of agents. So this is a week to where owners sit down with certain agents to try to work on deals or start talking about potential structures of deals. And a lot of deals get actually closed at the combine. So they not out there just with stopwatches. That's not all they doing. They meeting all day with people and the agents, and so it's people that current players, their agents are at the combine to talk with the owners, and everybody is pretty much in one place. It's where deals get done. Basically saying this, when Bobby coming out saying that's the post that he getting from Dallas, that's likely because they already had some talks that week and don't like where the talks are going. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just showing y'all what I think is gonna happen based on the nuggets that was laid out. To me, these are gold nuggets though. Just keeping it real, these are gold nuggets. Like, and to me, if I'm reading the tea leaves right, you getting a sense of what's getting ready to happen either now or into the future. I don't think Bobby Belt is lying on Zak Martin. I don't think he lying on Donovan Wilson. It definitely aligns up where he talked about Dak, and when you look at that list and you start talking about, do we need to start thinking about a replacement sometime into the future? He said Dak not even on. He said I skip Dak when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving y'all what I don't think a lot of people dug into. So I'm just digging into it as a value add to this channel. Like, if you watch this channel, you don't watch us to just cover what everybody else is covering. Like, you want a channel that's able to kind of dig into this stuff, give you clues to what's likely getting ready to happen, and then you ahead of it before it happens. You know? And we just kind of going through the evidence together. That's what we doing. But then Bobby Bell came out with something else. So I'm just kind of giving y'all just some of the gold nuggets that he laid out, and then we go recap it. But listen to this one. This is another one. Listen. Hold on. And see, this is another point. Good one by Coach Marv. This is a great point by you, Coach Marv. On top of that, Coach Marv say D. Wilson replacement is in the building, Bell and Cox. True. It's just what it is. So it's the business of football, y'all. You know, don't fall in love with these players. Don't even fall in love with Dak, because it's gonna be one day. Yeah, Jerry said this year he skipped Dak when it comes down to eventually having to create a plan to replace him. But it is gonna be a time to where he go look at Dak and he can say, well, we got to start thinking about replacing him. Same thing happened with Romo. Romo kept having them back injuries, right? He kept having them injuries. And Jerry was just looking. He kept looking. And he was like, well, we got to prepare for that future. So even though I love you, Romo, let me go try to get Paxton Lynch, because I got to be ready in case you can't play. Based on what I'm seeing on the field. It's exactly what he said. Same thing. But it ended up being Dak. They drafted Dak because they had to think about the future without Romo. Based on what they were seeing on the field with Romo. Some people say, boss, but Romo could play. Damn it, he was better than Dak. Shut up, man. Shut up. Stop being simple. I don't care if you even believe that he better than Dak. His injury history, his last years with the Cowboys was horrible. Romo only played 4 games in 2 years. It was right for Jerry to think about his replacement. Yeah. And then Darren say D-Law's replacement. Yep, you got to think about it. You do. Yes, you do. Yep, you do. You got to think about it. That's what it is. All right, so this is another nugget he laid out. Here we go.
Is not scheduled to meet with them while he's in Indianapolis. What draft pick rumors, position rumors did you pick up from being out there?
Ooh, this is gonna come in handy.
So I
For
mean,
the Cowboys.
For the Cowboys specific.
Wait, let's see. Let's rewind that.
Indianapolis. What draft pick rumors, position rumors did you pick up from being out there?
So I
For
mean,
the Cowboys.
For the Cowboys specifically, I think that if I were able to bet.
Wait. See, first of all, I want y'all to go look at Bobby Belt's track record when it comes to betting. That's one analytical smart mofo when it comes down to these calculated bets. So when he say if I was to bet, bro, put it like this, in the playoffs, he was 95% right. The whole way.
I think that if I were able to bet, which I can't, I'm a member of the NFL Network.
Well,
although they are getting on me, they told me this weekend, they're like, Bobby, we will not be able to hire you again until you complete your betting tutorial that is due every year. And they're like, this is past due, and you
You've
need
been
to do
flagged.
it. Yep, I've been flagged. But if I were going to be a betting man, I would wager on the Cowboys' first 3 picks in the draft. Just after talking to some people out there, it's some combination, some order: cornerback, running back, and pass catcher. Whether that's a receiver or a tight end. Cornerback, running back, and pass catcher. Whether that's a receiver or a tight end, somebody to help stretch the field, somebody to contribute in the passing game. The only one that might be able to, a dark horse candidate that could kind of disrupt that trio of picks as positions that they.
Yeah, landlord. He said running back. Yes, he did. And cornerback. See, that's. Yeah. And see, he's saying that based on who he saw our scouts talking to. He looking at the meetings that they had with certain players out there. He adding it up. Like, how many corners did we talk to? How many running backs did we talk to? How many weapons did we talk to? See, Bobby tracking all that stuff. My boy said, man, I want Gibbs. He nice. That 4-3 helped him too. I think Gibbs is more Pollard. He more Pollard than Zeke. I wouldn't want Gibbs. Even though I see the value in Gibbs, I wouldn't want him. Because I want different styles of backs. I don't want the same type backs. I want backs that's complement each other. I don't want identical backs. But I see why you definitely like Gibbs. Yeah. Nobody got no problem with Gibbs. But most of y'all, but most people not breaking down like
that could kind of disrupt that trio of picks as positions that they'd be targeting would be offensive line to me. But I don't think we're going to see a line.
Yeah. So to see, what did he say? What could hurt that trio? Offensive line. So it's really 4 things that to him the Cowboys is looking at big time after this draft weekend. 4 things: corner, running back, receivers, and tight ends. And he said what could disrupt it if it's a value. Like, let's say if somebody just dropped that we didn't expect to drop. Yeah, he said the Cowboys are open to offensive line. which goes to what he was saying about Zak Martin. See, I'm peeping the game. I know I ain't looking at this crazy. I'm just putting all the tea leaves together. I'm not crazy, bro. I'm not crazy, bro. I'm seeing it. I see exactly what y'all doing. Hold on, let's keep going.
But I don't think we're going to see a linebacker. I don't think this is going to be defensive line. Obviously we've talked about how early would they potentially address quarterback. I don't think they'd take a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. The thing that really struck me, specifically why I say pass catchers, because the team has a ton of confidence in Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. There's no doubt about it. They're really happy with how they performed last year, but the Cowboys are clearly interested in the tight ends. Jerry spoke about the advantage of having a really dynamic tight end, specifically brought up Travis Kelce as a guy that, man, you see what that does to them. In fact, he said if you had the option of the best, like the most dynamic receiver or the most dynamic tight end, that you'd probably want to take the tight end.
I agree.
And it makes sense because it is a mismatch. Safeties, linebackers, guys like that, you're not putting corners on these tight ends. The size, the athleticism, the different things they can do there is a serious advantage. And the Cowboys were meeting with several tight ends while they were out there. Dalton Kincaid from Utah, Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan. I think they had conversations with Luke Musgrave from Oregon State. So a lot of different guys there.
Good question. The Reaper asked a very good question. I love this question. This is a good ass question. What was Ferguson for? So this is likely saying to me that they are aggressively trying to get rid of Schultz, not Ferguson. Ferguson is for the future.
Damn, plug. You speak Swahili?
But also, I'm going to do a show on this one day, likely this week or next week. When you go look at the history of Mike McCarthy always had super athletes at tight end when it's his offense. See, under Kellen, maybe Ferguson fit more of Kellen's offense. To me, this is saying that Schultz is out of there, man. They're not trying to pay Schultz, man. I'm being all the way honest, and to me, it makes sense. It makes sense to get rid of Schultz. It does. Because the reason why it makes sense, because Schultz's major advantage in this offense was the fact that his read was one of the easier reads for Dak. And he was able to be a superior hot pocket. He was able to sit in them soft zones. He was very good at it. He was good at reading those defenses, right? So under Kellen Moore's offense, yeah, you probably want to keep him. But under this offense, bro, no, hot pocket, you don't fit. Just being honest, you don't fit. Because Mike McCarthy ain't gonna be doing a whole bunch of hot pockets and option routes. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real. So with what Bobby's saying, it makes sense because Mike McCarthy, he like, bro, you just, you was good last year, Ferguson. You was good last year. We was developing you last year to be in this option route system. But see, we not finna do that no more. So why would I get personnel that does not fit my style of an offense? Because Mike McCarthy's style of an offense is mismatched. He want the better athlete. He not looking to beat you with less like Kellen. No, he want that guy that's going to intimidate the hell out of you. The Jamarcus Finley. That's what he want. He want that tight end that come out there that's 6'5" and 6'6", that got hips like a receiver. That's what he want. So, Ferguson good, but is Ferguson that dog athlete that he used to having? So I'm gonna go through the history of McCarthy's tight ends, and once I go through his history of the tight ends that played for him under his West Coast system, it don't look like Ferguson. It don't look like Hendershot. It don't. It look like better athletes. Just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? So that to me answers the question of why was Ferguson? See, Ferguson and Hendershot, they like them a lot, but they still might have question marks about them in terms of the West Coast offense. So they real interested, and I believe Bobby. I believe they looking for, because ain't no way you can go look at the history of Mike McCarthy with tight ends and match them with our current tight end room. Yeah, and Coach Moore said, I believe those young tight ends are that. Yeah, and I can see why, because athletically, no, they not, Coach. They not athletically, no. Now, football player wise, I agree. But athletically, I don't agree at all. You know. And I always like Ferguson. I was high on Ferguson. I called Ferguson a baby Witten. I called him baby Witten. I got laughed at for that too. But I said, no, that's what I see. I see a tight end that does everything well. He's not great at anything, but he's good at everything. And that's how Witten was. So, and then when you look at the upside of Ferguson, shoot, you know what I'm saying? But it just makes me think it's that Mike McCarthy might want a little bit more in this offense. I'm just keeping it real. A real. You say Boss sleeping on Henny. All right, sure, I guess. I ain't sleeping on Henny. It's not a sleep. It's just basically reading the tea leaves. If they out there talking to the most athletic tight ends, maybe they have questions about the tight end room. Especially when they don't match physically, historically, what Mike McCarthy has had at tight end. I'm just trying to use my common sense. Now, some of y'all might call it sleeping on guys, doubting guys. You misreading me. Because I like them guys. That's why I said I was very high on Ferguson. But I can't help to listen and say, but Mike McCarthy might think he can do better. Well, let's just keep listening, man. Y'all think I'm just joking, so I know how it is. Talk is cheap. I told y'all with some nuggets. Just listen.
And one of the interesting things was the entire offensive staff was back here in Dallas. They did not go to the combine. They were doing install. They're working on getting the offense all ready to go, except one coach. Lunda Wells, the tight end coach, was in Indy, and he was going through all the workout. He was doing a lot of the tight end workout drills on the field.
Every coach stayed back to work on install, except, I hope you're right on this, Day Walker. This is a good thought. This is a very good thought by Day Walker. This could be the case too, Day Walker. You might be right on this. He said, boss, that's a smoke screen, bro. They selling Schultz and creating the market for him like they did Kellen with Chargers. You could be right on that. You know what I mean? They could be using Bobby to, put out there some interests, you know what I mean, that they really don't have. It's a good thought. I ain't gonna fight that logic. That's good logic. That is good logic. That's something that I would actually want them to do. Yeah, but see, I ain't lying about the lack of athleticism though. See, Mo know what he talking about. Ferguson ran a 4.8, man. Ferguson slow as hell, man. Slow, bro. Shit. Mike McCarthy used to 4.6 and down. Just keeping it real. Now I like him, but I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Steele. My boy like crazy keep asking me about Steele. I'm gonna talk about Steele. But he was talking about Linda Wells, right? Which is the tight end coach, right? So Linda Wells, he's saying, was the only coach that was out there on the whole offensive staff, the tight end coach for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not quite buying that though, to Day Walker's point. Because Bobby Bell put that out there like, it's a coincidence that all the offense stayed out there home except Linda Wells, the tight ends coach. But see, those of y'all who've been watching the draft, y'all know Linda Wells is always out there. Linda Wells was out there before he was coaching in Dallas. Linda Wells is always the tight end coach. So on that one, I'm not quite buying it. I ain't falling for that one, man. I think that might be that wee woo.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
Yeah, You know, I don't know. That one kind of don't. It got a smell to it. It got kind of like a. But that is funny that he was the only coach out there for the Cowboys. But it ain't like how he sold it. He sold it like Lyndon Wells. He just so happened to go. He's always there. See, man, come on, bro. I've been watching the draft for years. I've been watching Lyndon Wells do them drills with them tight ends for years. He's a great tight end coach, and he's known around the league. There's a reason why tight ends super turned up the moment he got here. You smelled Washington from Georgia? Wow. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't. But yeah, it said the sound effects are blowing my ears out. Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. Them fart noises, I gotta hit you with that, man. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, man, I'm sorry they too loud, but hey, it's what it is. So my boy Life's Crazy, he been asking me to talk about steel, so I'm gonna give y'all some steel as bonus tonight. Let me make sure I was finished though. Hold on, was I finished?
Was the coach that was leading them.
Jerry was asked on the Cowboys bus, which Bobby was on, does Dak need an...
He said they would not draft a tight end with the first pick. See, I didn't even say that, bro. Bobby didn't say that either. Bobby didn't say they go draft a tight end in the first pick. See, y'all listen, y'all. Don't do me like this. Let me tell you how some of y'all try to do me. Y'all put words in my mouth and then laugh at the words that y'all put in my mouth. How y'all do that? I ain't say that. Bobby didn't say that. Bobby said likely within the first three. Oh, Lazy did. My fault. Oh, my bad. My bad, Trey. Trey, my bad. I thought you were talking to me, dog. My bad. My bad. I'm finna say it like, bro, I ain't say that, bro. All right, we good, we good, my guy. We good, my guy. So, all right, let me get back to this, though. All right, so my boy Life Crazy been asking about that tender on Terrence Steele. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm sorry about that, man. Yeah, and I would, you know, as a matter of fact, I actually would be mad at a tight end. I would, because I don't like how tight ends in the first round perform. And then he say trade for Sutton and DJ Moore. I wouldn't be mad at either one of those trades if we traded for either one of those guys, especially Sutton. I doubt we do it, but I would be open for it. I would. But to talk about Steele, to me, the reason why I didn't put a lot of emphasis on this, because what I think they really doing, especially when you put a 10 on Steele, they're preparing to try to keep Steele for the long term. But what they're doing, in my opinion, especially with that tender, is they are respecting Steele, okay? Because nothing is going to show Steele's value like the market. Yeah, and I agree with this super chat by Coach Q. He said that it go be tight ends between 1 and 4. I agree. Yeah, especially 1 through 3. You know what I mean? 4, I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure about 1 through 3. That boy Martel say, that boy say, still had to be tough to be light skinned. Yeah. See, the OC call it the light skinned chip. It's a real thing too. It's a real thing. But tell the truth. But tell them where you from, bro. Because see, I can tell you where I'm from. The light-skinned dudes was the biggest gangsters. The pretty boys was the worst. Because you had to be twice as tough. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that light-skinned chip, that's a real thing. Because because let's be honest, when you're a pretty boy, what come with that? Haters, jealousy, bullies. They try you when you're a pretty boy. So a lot of times you got to develop some type of self-defense and some toughness. That's real. That light-skinned chip is a very real thing. Yeah, sometimes the worst thing you could ever do in your life is test a pretty boy. I'm being honest, because see, my sons, they are very good-looking boys. They get it from their mama, all right? So my sons are good-looking, right? When I saw my sons, I said the first thing I'm gonna do is put y'all in karate. That's the first thing I did too. And they became all-state fighters. #1 in the state at fighting. And I did that because they good looking. Swear to God. True story.
Damn, plug. You speak Swahili?
That boy said this smoke hitting. You on that get? All right, here we go. I got you, big dog. Yeah. So, and I put them in there, dog. Yeah, and my boy landlord said, I swear I've been fighting. Dog, yeah. And then you got landlord, man. Landlord got that hair that look like Jesus too. Man, landlord around here looking like Jesus with that long hair. You know them ladies be on landlord. Sitting around there, man. That boy got them locks all long. Any man that can do this, you better be able to fight. When you can do your hair like this and your hair swing. Landlord, if you can do this, if you can do your hair like this and swing it, yeah, you better know how to fight. You better. Yeah, and this is true though. This is true. Yeah, this is true. I had to fight. See, Q though. How many fights did I have, bro? I had fights at a magnet school with nerd. Boss, he said Boss was a pretty boy in high school. Yeah, Boss was a beast court. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was the pretty boy. I was the dude. I was the pretty boy. I had the car. I had the I did all of that. I was fighting my whole life. That's as soon as I looked at my boys, I said, yeah, I gotta put y'all in karate because y'all gonna get tested. Yeah, that's the first thing I said, light skin disease. But going back to steel, the thing that I'm afraid of with this tender, I'm afraid with this tender that because the whole point about the tender is to get a second rounder if you're not willing to match another team's offer. But what I'm afraid of is that still phone gonna be greatly ringing. No, I didn't have no 87 two-door colors. No, I had me a Nissan Maxima on some TriStars. Leather that would talk. My car would talk. Yeah, bro, in high school. TriStars. 20-inch with low profile tires. Speaker system. I worked all summer and bought my car. And fixed everything on it. Man, say, I was fighting, bro. I was fighting. Trust me. I ain't lying too, bro. I was fighting, bro. I ain't had no spinners. I had them TriStars. I had TriStars. Yeah. So anyway, that ain't nothing. Here we go. But going back to steel, cause my boy Life Crazy wanted me to talk about it. It's like once this free agency start, hold your breath, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen with this, cause the Cowboys put a second round tender on them. I'm like, Steel is clearly, in my opinion, worth a first round tender, and I think some teams go see it that way too. That's why I'm afraid about this tender, because they go offer him a deal, and then the Cowboys get the last rights of refusal. Yeah, I know, Big Santana. I know you did, my boy. This funny, my boy Santana say, I went to sock. We thought our Carter boys was pretty boys. Yeah. I see. Listen, Santana, I'm from Singing Hills. I was born and raised in Singing Hills, so I know. We probably know the same people, for real, from sock. I guarantee we know the same people. If me and you link up one day, I guarantee your friends are likely my friends some kind of way. I guarantee I know a lot of your people. Yeah, I grew up in Singing Hills. I supposed to went to sock. And I ain't gonna talk about that. That's some detailed stuff. Boy, that boy said I stayed on Lazy River. Stop. Mike, you did not. Bro. That boy said I stayed on Lazy River, bro. See, that's a Singing Hills thing, bro. Ooh, yeah, that's my hood, bro. Yeah, Alpha Ledbetter. I'm done, bro. See, y'all boys is. I didn't even know y'all was that close. Yeah. I should have went to sock. Matter of fact, my oldest brother graduated from sock. So I went to sock. I mean, my brother went to sock. I went to Carter, but I went to Carter Because y'all know around that time, that was the place you went if you was real good at football. You wanted a big scholarship. Right now, SOC is that school. That were the best in the city. They send their kids to SOC now because SOC is producing the championships. Back then, it was Carter, you know what I'm saying? And I was a cold athlete, so I went with all my friends was dogs, and I was a dog. So it was like, yeah, shit, let me go with the champs at. You know what I mean? No disrespect to nobody else in the hood, because matter of fact, let me say this. Carter was nice, but a lot of schools in Dallas was nice. SOC, Kimball, Velt. If you combine any one of our schools, we would have won state back to back. And let me just tell y'all something about Dallas that a lot of people don't know. The reason why Dallas is taking over football is because they finally stopped segregating our schools. See, right now, all these schools are open enrollment. So now the best of Dallas can actually play together, like them suburb schools been able to do. But see, what was happening back in the day is Carter would be at war with Kimball, Kimball be at war with SOC. We was beating up each other when we really all should have been teammates. Just think about that. What if Carter and SOC joined? What if Kimball and, man, don't get me started. Oh God, I didn't know. Queen say my dad's son graduated from Kimball and Carter. Oh my God, boy. I said, listen, y'all got me talking about the hood. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, Boss Carter is one of the top 10 winning this program in Texas. But listen, it's not just Carter though. I'm just being honest. Carter, we some dogs. We got a lot of people that played in the league. But I'm gonna tell you, all our schools, SOC, Cole, Kimball, Carter. Yeah. Now the suburbs are all cold. Lancaster cold. Dunkerville winning state championships. SOC just won 2 back-to-back state championships. And DeSoto, man. See, Jerry Jones said this. He said, if I could just recruit out of one play. Oh, bro, Michael, you went to Thornton. Bro, I went to Thornton. Yeah, I went to Thornton. I went to Thornton from kindergarten. I went to South Dallas for 2 years. I went to a South Dallas school. I was in the hood. And I came back to Thornton for my 6th grade. Boy, I'm done. I ain't even talking about the hood no more. Y'all boys gotta be talking about my old hood, man. I didn't even know some of y'all was from my hood like this. This is dope, bro. Yeah. So anyway, going back to Steele. I do feel nervous, man. See, because I think the Cowboys should have put a first-round tender on him. I think they taking a big risk. Because, see, then a team might really want him, bro. A lot. And they might be willing to just unload their whole bank for him and make it hard for Dallas to match. But what Dallas to me is saying with their second round tender, to answer your question, Life, what they saying is we willing to match what anybody willing to do. Yeah, one of my kids brown skin. My other son he look like his mama. She a red ball. So, but so it's a risk thing to me. I didn't really talk about it, but to get my thoughts about it, when they put that tender on him, it's like, damn, shit. Like, what they betting on is this. They hoping that teams not gonna be willing to empty out the bank because of the ACL. But I'm gonna be honest, I think Steele film is just undeniable. It's undeniable. I'm just keeping it real. His film, and guess what? His film was undeniable last year. So a second round tender is this. Rita asked, what's a second round tender? So basically, they allowing him to be in the market, right? And if a team want him, the Dallas Cowboys get what's called the last rights of refusal, where they can match that offer to retain Terrence Steele. But if they don't match it, then that team has to give Dallas a second round pick. That's why it's a second round tender. But what it does, Rita, it allows your player to get a real assessment of himself. You know what I'm saying? Yep, and see Q Dog. See, I'm just keeping it real, bro. This is real. This is real. He say, lineman getting grabbed up off them tags. The most famous is Hutchinson. Yep. That was taken off a transition tag. Yep. So listen, hold your breath. Because they sitting a real animal out in the market. And see, I know this last year. Most people don't know this, but it was people calling that was interested in Terrence Steele last year. Last year, people wanted Terrence Steele. While we was all talking about Lyle Collins, the league and them other 31 teams, they was interested in the young bully. And we know, we should know how valuable. We should know how valuable this is, bro. Cause see, let me tell y'all something. You know one of the biggest things that showed Dak's value? And Steve, you saying it now? I was saying this last year. I got laughed at a little bit last year. People ain't laughing this year when I said last year that he was our best lineman. Yeah. I wouldn't see, cause I just wasn't afraid to say it. The film said. You can look at him right beside Zak Martin right now and just watch this and you'll see who was clearly getting the most push. Real talk. I ain't making it up. Real talk. So how can you watch Steele doing dudes like this? Zeke having all that running room. Look how Zeke had to run by him, bro. Bro, listen, y'all. Me and you could have ran through this hole, bro. Like, real talk. And then think about this. This is a grown man Steele is doing like this, y'all. Yeah, look what Steele is doing to him, bro. Look at this. That's like prison. That's like a dude in prison taking you. Look, that's a grown man. A grown, strong man who lift weights and eat steaks every day. Can't stop that type of run blocking. What? And Steele is consistent on this type of push. Look at him right beside. Just look at it. I ain't making it up. Look at the push right next to Zak Martin to tell me who got more push. Just look. Both of them driving their legs. Right there, Steele already got more push. Already. Both of them driving their legs, doing their fundamentals of offensive linemen, engaging you, driving your legs, doing what they supposed to do. But look at the push. Who got the most push? And he did this all last year. That's what used to piss me off so bad when people be like, what happened to the running game? I said, Kellen Moore, stop running to the right. Dumbass. And they benched him for Lyle Collins. Dumb. Because he was doing this since game 2. Yeah, still. So you mean to tell me other NFL teams don't watch film? So if you're a team that need a right tackle, this wasn't impressive to you to watch him just throw Bosa like he was a rag doll? Watch how he throw Bosa. That's Bosa. That is Bosa. Okay? That's Bosa. Again, that's Bosa. One more time. This is Bosa. And watch what he do to him. Watch him throw him. Look. Jesus. And look at all that running room for Pollard. And people, boss, what happened to the running game? Boss. Just look at the space that's created from this killer. Look, Bosa, get out the way. Yeah, Bosa, can you make that play? No. Can you get off my block? No. You can't. You go just watch Pollard run by you because you can't do nothing. And I'm going to throw you just to finish you. So when you talking about steal, I'm nervous, y'all. A second round tender for this? Dallas, what the hell you thinking? You should have, man. It's like, bro, if I was a team, I'd be like, run it up. That's what I'd say. Let's try to build it up on Dallas because we know they don't like to spin.
Run it up.
I would be like, run it up. I'd give away a second rounder for this dude quick.
Run it up.
I sure would. I would. Shit, I wouldn't, boy. For this type of push, look at this. Look at how he doing, dudes. Dudes push 5 yards downfield. Over and over and over and over. And he did this every game. He did. Dog, all you had to do mostly was run to the right, and you would be. If you ran behind Zak Martin and Bosa, it was almost automatic on that right side. He bullies everybody. That's why me and the OC was calling him the bully. We were calling Terrence Steele. We were like, bro, this dude is a bully.
Damn, plug. You speak Swahili?
And the funniest thing is, he always been like this too. He was like this at Texas Tech. I forgot. I'm gonna show this Thursday. But Thursday, guess who I had as in the entire draft as the number 8 sleeper in the entire draft when he was coming out. I had Steele as my number 8 top sleeper in the entire draft. And I talked about mainly because of how he was doing balls in the run game. Everything that you see him doing in the league, he was also doing at Tech. Except, I'm going to be honest, he was meaner at Tech. Listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all something before it happened. We haven't even seen the best of Steele yet. That's what's scary. Steele, it is not, trust me, I know what I'm looking at in this dude. It has not even clicked to him how good he is. He's starting to get it, but man, once he really get it, bro, the reason why I put him as my number 8 top sleeper, because he was ferociously mean at Texas Tech. I mean mean. I mean the first play of the game, he was trying to take your whole soul and heart out your chest. Yeah, Trey, I agree. He say Steele ain't going nowhere. That's why I think they put that 10 on him, because they basically saying, bro, we gonna let the market say what you worth. And what they gambling with and what they gambling on is that the market is gonna shy away because of that ACL. I wouldn't. I promise you, I would be that team that'd be like, oh, they put a second round 10 on them? Run it up.
Run it up.
Run it up. Start bidding. Cause they know we don't like the shop. I would be like, we gonna run it up on Dallas. We gonna make him an alpha. Ooh-wee.
Run it up.
I would run it up if I was another team. I sure would. Common Sense Lab said, man, boss, I hate that you taught me insane narrative. Everything front office do, I see it a mile away. I know. Yeah, once you kind of start seeing how they move, they can't trick you, bro. They can't trick you. Once you get the pattern of how they move, yeah, they ain't doing it. Ooh, see this boy L, bro. L, see, I just saw L come in. L say, ain't nothing like getting a new girlfriend that you ain't gotta train. Ooh.
Run it up.
Ooh.
Another one,
L, Jesus. All right, man, but see, that's all the gold I got, man. I ain't got no more gold. I emptied out the clip. But it was important to kind of see kind of the different moves that could be getting ready to happen with the Dallas Cowboys. I definitely do believe that they telling the truth on Zak Martin, that they are at this time considering ways to replace him. I don't think that they are aggressive at this moment. I don't. But I think that he is on that list of people based on play. Because yes, he is still very good, but now you can see that he is not what he was. and you can see the decline coming. You can see it. It's starting to show its ugly head. And when you see it, yeah, you gotta do something about it. Another nugget from Bobby Belt. Yes, a confirmed nugget that we go see a much improvement in Dak. Yeah, that's true. That's gonna happen. Another nugget, Donovan Wilson probably won't return, but I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world. I don't. And then another nugget is when you look at the fact that the people that we likely looking at in the draft, he confirmed it, and I believe it's true. I think he gave the order of what we looking at. That's gonna happen likely within the first 3 rounds. Yeah. And my boy Clebo said, once again, don't want to sign their best without the BS. Yeah. But I think at the end they gonna have to sign still. They will. I think they will. I just hope they price don't get run up, because they put themselves in a place to have their price run up.
Run it up.
Real talk. They did. They put themselves in a place to
run it up.
Yeah, so, but at the end of the day, you got to match it. You know what I'm saying? You got to match it. So, if you want to retain them, and you have to match them now. So, I'm seeing right now, yeah, Paul, replacing Zach. Yeah. And it's smart, though, Paul. It's smart. Yeah. Keep in mind, I'm not saying that they go do this instantly, but you have to put him on a list. You have to. You just do. Just being honest. As great as he has been for us, you have to start preparing a plan now for his replacement. Enough of that being behind the 8-ball. We need to be in front of the 8-ball. You know what I mean? Enough of scrambling. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in a crisis. How about seeing the crisis happen, or see the crisis coming before it happens? You know what I mean? Let's not wait till the wheels fall off, which we've all hated that we've seen with the Dallas Cowboys. So these were some very good Bobby Belt nuggets, even starting with D-Hop. You know, I started the show talking about D-Hop, which broke from Bobby Belt. So when I'm telling y'all, I know a good day, and I'm telling you, Bobby Belt had a damn good day.
Run it up.
He had a damn good day. Like, some people, when they come back from the combine, they ain't gonna come back with nothing. No. Bobby Belt came out, worked his sources, and came back with gold. That, to me, a whole lot of people didn't even. I know, Paul. See, damn good point. Bro, I don't know. He said, why Dangle still in teams' faces? Especially for a second round tender? Paul, bro, I have no damn idea. I really don't. That's the wrong dude to dangle, in my opinion, bro. Wait, Trey, stop. Trey, you doing too much. Wait, are you serious? Trey, let me make sure you're not playing. He said, Boss, Martin got like 9 good years left. Ain't no way you serious right now. Ain't no way. Just ain't no way. He finna be 33, dog. You telling me he gonna be playing guard till he 42? Yeah. See, it's hurting y'all feelings, I can tell. It's hurting y'all feelings. My boy say, what the F, boss? Zach still top 3. Yeah. Cool. But this is the deal. And this is the big point of what Bobby is saying. You still want to start looking now at his potential replacement, even if that potential replacement might not start for the next 2 years. Just what you got to do. And let's say if a value just dropped to us, similar to a Tyler Smith, and you got a chance to get younger, bye. Yeah, coach, I'll take a call. Shit. Yeah, I'll take a call, coach. Yeah, hold on real quick. Matter of fact, let me see. I'll call you, Coach. But I was getting ready to wrap up, Coach, so, you know, I got love for you. I only do this for you, Coach. See, I do this for Coach because, see, Coach and Imp, we put in a lot of work during the season. I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a light thing that we did over the season with those watch parties. You know what I'm saying? So I know some of y'all think that I favor Coach Moore. I do. Y'all thought I was going to say I don't. Shit, I do. Some of y'all think I favor Amp. I do. I do. I favor the hell out the boys. You thought I was going to say I don't. I favor them. Shit.
What's up, boss?
What's up?
Hey, I told you I wanted to hear what you had on Zak Martin, and that's true. And let's give some credit to this Cowboy organization.
Yeah.
Low-key, they have replaced it. Listen, there's only two older statesmen on the offensive line left, and that's Zak Martin and Tyler Smith. Everything else has been replaced.
Yep.
And we looked at Josh Ball. We don't know if he's going to get better. That was his first time playing. If Wesco comes along and shows some promise like he did before, and this offensive line coach, that's why you bring another offensive line coach in, because he's like, hey, I need to get some old school Memphis in here to hit on one of these young tackles. Because if I do that, that makes the process much easier. Now we draft a guard in the draft. We looking, because we can't keep pushing these contracts down the road. Nope. I think Zak Martin's last time you could push it down the road is this year. Now, after this year, you got to start talking about signing into a new deal, and I don't think they're going that way. No, because now you got to push them. Now you try to push them into like 3 to 4 more years at that level, and you know that's not what you want to do. So, and they may be hesitant in reworking his contract this year. If they don't do nothing with his contract to free up some more money, that's a sign right there that they like, okay, we're not going to push the can down the road anymore. We think it's coming to a point where we talking about maybe 1, maybe 2 more years, and then we're going to have a replacement in the building. And if we get the replacement in the building with a 3rd round lineman, and he shows promise, that will put us in a place where if you replace Zak Martin in the next year or so, you're looking at a very young offensive line. If one of these tackles come in, you're looking at all your offensive linemen, and they're like, I think the highs would be like the 4th or 5th year. So they've done a good job of it. Listen, the Cowboys have retooled this whole team in the last 4 years. If we really think about it, the defense is totally retooled. And now you're talking about the offense, and now I think when we talking about getting a receiver, remember they signed Michael Gallup to a crazy contract, but his contract had an out after 2 years. So it was really a crazy contract, but really a proven deal in 2 years, or the guarantees are gone, and now we can move on from you. So this is a make or break year for Michael Gallup, or the Cowboys going to move on from. That's just how business is. Yep. Because then you have people got it for $15 million, and if you got an out to get out of his contract, if he doesn't give you no production, some great production this coming year, they're already putting the contingency plan to say, hey, let's go here and replace, look for the replacement there. So now, I know y'all was talking about Steele and the tenure. Well, the history has shown there's been a lot of players that get tenure, and I'm telling you why he's got the tenure, and I think everybody should know. When you're an undrafted free agent and you get on the team, and you ball out and you become a starter, well, most times they get tenured because you kind of got them trapped for a tender for at least 2 more years. So you really get tender him this year, and if you don't sign to a long-term deal, you can tender him again next year. So then after that, he's totally free on the market. But I think the Cowboys are tendering him now as he gets healthy, and I think the Cowboys are signing him to with his free agent, with his cap hit will be the exact same on the books as the tender deal. But I'm looking for them to probably give him like a 3 to 4 year deal as something where he APR about 7 to 8 million, which will put him very low on the totem pole with the right tackles. But he really don't have no choice but go ahead and sign that deal because he needs that guaranteed money. He don't want to be tendered and keep piecemealing it. So that's they got the leverage on him, and that's what happens, man, when you come in this league and you come in this league as an undrafted free agent and you ball out on the star.
I'm holding.
Well,
I'll be like,
yeah,
I'm holding out.
Yeah,
if you try to come at me with $8 million, and I'm your right tackle that get pushed like that, I ain't playing. No, don't.
But this is the thing, right? He's tendered, right? And he said, okay, you got to tender. Think about it. Think about this in this area. Lyle Collins, right, was in the same category. Remember, he didn't get drafted. He was a free agent tender. They signed him to a lower deal, and in the midst, they signed him to an extension. But his extension was a long 5, 10, 8-year deal. But it really didn't average out to like $9 million a year. But Lyle Collins had to take that, even though he was balling out. But that's the pains you have to take when you come in this league as an undrafted free agent, because your leverage power is not really good, and you can't say, okay, I'm going to hold out, and then if I get an injury, I'm not going to get that big money because I didn't get no big money when I first came in the league. So I think the Cowboys will do right about him, but I don't think he's going to be no $13, $14 million right tackle. He may eventually come do that if he gets through the contract, but he'll never catch up that money if he plays well with the Cowboys, because that's what happens, man, when you come in this league as a undrafted. Very few of them come in here and make a lot of money. They try to do that with Tony Romo, but you can't do that with quarterbacks.
You can't do that.
They try to find Tony Romo to that level.
If I'm that right tackle, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna show you better. I can tell you. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. You go pay me. And it ain't gonna be like, yeah, we got you cheap, so we gonna get you cheap some more. Hell.
Well, and with him, they, like I said, and they probably gonna prove it. And I'm not saying but he's not gonna get going rate money as top of money. They're probably gonna do it well with him. And if they may give him that deal, he may get that deal, but it's going to be a long-term deal. If they do give him that $11, $12 million a year APR, it's going to be a Tyron Smith type deal. It's going to be a 6-year deal. They're going to spread it out. They're going to say, well, we'll give you that, but you're going to have to give us a 6-year deal where, and really, that's really losing as the market keeps going up. He'll still be losing, but he'll be, for the short period of time, he'll be up there with the right tackles. But as time go on, he'll be peanuts. Because right now, Tyron Smith, we talk about his contract, but his contract has been peanuts based off left tackles in the league for a long time because he signed such a long deal with the Cowboys. I think it was a 10-year deal, $100 million. So now, if he would sign that deal, he would probably get, if he was in his heyday, almost $20 million to be a left tackle, when he's been averaging around about 13, 14 million. So, that's what you have when you sign these long deals. But sometimes you got kids want to sign long-term deals, so they want to feel the security for a long period of time. So, hopefully they're doing right. But if we bring a receiver in here, I don't think we're gonna draft a receiver in the first round. And I really wouldn't. If you bring in a marquee receiver like Hopkins in here, boss, why wouldn't you go ahead and draft and where you gonna use him at?
I mean, it just depends on who there. Depends
Right,
on who
and we
there.
bring it.
So you
And
know,
I think we're gonna do 13 personnel. I think we're gonna run 13 personnel a lot this year. I think that's gonna be one of our main formation.
I'm not sure, Coach. I think I want to wait till the whole draft and free agency is done before I even start predicting what we go do on that. You know what I mean? I want to first see how
That's a
the
West
are
Coast.
made up.
That's a West Coast staple. 13 personnel is a West Coast staple. That's a, you know, and you could be a passing offense with hell. Kansas City ran 13 personnel 90% of the time against these. That was their base. So
I mean, I hear you. I still want to see the roster first before I'm just certain. And then 13 personnel as a staple of the West Coast. I don't know no West Coast that's what 13 is a staple. I don't.
Check it out. 13 personnel is gonna be a staple. You're gonna get 2 tight ends in that. Either you're gonna have 2 tight ends or you're gonna have a tight end and fullback.
Well,
that's not 13. You ain't got 2 minutes. You ain't gonna see and it's not 13, but you gonna have 2 bigs. You ain't gonna see 2 minutes. I don't think we're gonna be 5 wide as much or 4 wide as much in this offense because we could be in that other package and just be just as explosive as being in that 4 or 5 wide package. I don't really think McCarthy like that either at all either, but we'll see. But that's why I think the direction they're going with that, because I think if they get a dynamic wide receiver like Hopkins, which I would love him to be here, I think because he still got dynamic all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Him and CD Lamb they're gonna chew up a vast amount of the targets. As they should, because that's what they're known to get big targets a whole lot. That's how they've been all their career, so they can handle that load. So that's how they go. But boss man, as great man, great show man, great insight man. Keep digging in the weeds man and finding stuff man. But I just wish that the main media of the Dallas Cowboys, because sometimes it seems like their tone seems like they want us to fail, so they can make some money.
That's a real statement. It's accurate. It's
accurate.
So yeah, I appreciate it, Coach.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
See, to that last point that Coach just made is true, because Bobby Bell said himself, if it bleeds, it reads. That's the media business. It's our fault, too. It's our fault, because we like drama. The more we have an appetite for drama, the more they feed us drama. That's how it works. If we wanted truth and facts, they would conduct themselves like that. But majority of people, they don't want no truth. They don't want no facts. They just basically want gore. And just think about it. What have all of us been doing even since we was little? What did we used to do when we used to see fights back in the day? Fight. And then we would see fights. Yeah, we would see fights at lunch. We would come back. Man, did you see that? We would be. It's the nature of who we are. Even as kids, fight. Yeah, we created this monster, Amp. We created this monster. Yeah. We the ones that created this. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it all the way real. So, and I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat saying they not gonna get rid of Zak Martin. First of all, I'm gonna repeat this again. I ain't talking, and I don't think they're talking about doing this now. They not talking about doing this now. I don't believe it. I think they looking at it into the future, which I think you should do. I think what you should do with Zak Martin is try to hold his team together as much as possible. But I'm also open that if you get a super good deal in the draft and you can go younger, but you already got a really good day one starting quality guard, man, bye. Just straight up, man, shoot. Especially At 33. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm cool. You know, I think we be out. I really do. Let me call my partner Q real quick. We gonna add one more call. Here we go. I'm calling Coach Q Dot. What's up,
Hey,
Coach?
boss.
What's up, Coach?
All right, so I love Coach Marv, but once again, Coach Marv is talking about these Joes. He said that we can replace Zak Martin with a third-round pick. If you look at all the top guards, all of my first-round picks, the two top ones, which includes Zak Martin, are first-round picks. So if you get a third-round pick, you are drafting a Joe. It's just facts. Zak Martin is a Hall of Fame right guard. He is. And so if you're going to replace him, you got to replace him with a top talent guard. If not, you are going to get the diminishing returns on your investment. Now, this is also a fact. Hall of Fame linemen play almost as long as quarterbacks. These are facts. Zak Martin hasn't been injury prone.
No.
Look at his history. He's not tiring.
No.
They only played like 15 games, as our boy Skywalker was talking about. Zak plays. So Zak, it's highly likely that Zak, he might not play all pro, but if he plays at Pro Bowl, or if he plays at above average, I hate to say it, but that's going to be better than third round pick.
Generally, yes.
It's just facts.
Generally.
So I mean, if you look at the guard, it's so many great guards right now that's in their 30s. Because offensive line play for a long time. This is a fact. We have someone who play tackle.
My boy Trey say, hold on. My boy Trey say, thank you. Zach got 9 more years left. Yeah, I said it. Hold on, wait.
I mean,
9 years.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
And Coach is gonna love this. The Matthews brothers played 20 years each as offensive linemen, and both of them in the Hall of Fame.
Wait.
Coach will love this.
Oh, wait, hold on. Because y'all might be right. I could be wrong on this one, bro. I could be wrong on this one. But it's not computing to me, bro. 9 more years of Zak Martin is not computing.
I'm not saying 9 more years.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, because Zach, 2 things. Because he's a Hall of Famer. 2, because he hadn't had that many injuries. Chances are his prime is longer than a Joe.
True.
So if we give him a 5-year, most likely we're going to get another 3 years of his prime.
Oh.
Which is worth it to me, because the window that we are talking about.
Yeah, the window. It's the window. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's the
my
window
thing is
where we shouldn't get like trade crazy. Not now. This ain't the time for that. This ain't the time for trade crazy.
That's right. And then the next thing is, Coach Marv was talking about Steele. And I'm not sure where he got the $9 million from, because that's not even in the top 5 right tackle money. Because Steele is a top 5 right tackle. You can hate him, you can love him, whatever you want to do, but he's a number 1 right tackle run blocker. You can look at PFL, Football Reference. He is the best run blocking right tackle.
Yeah.
Period. And so that guy is going to get $12, $13, $15 million a year. If I'm his agent, I'm telling the Cowboys, we are starting at next year's franchise tag, homie.
Next year?
Because yes, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now, we starting at 8, because I think the franchise tag for a right tackle is like 17, 18 million. So if I'm still, I'm telling them, listen, hey, you can pay me 17 million now, or pay me 17 million a year, because I know you're on franchise tag, and that's what I like to do. People are forgetting that. Or if Steele agent is smart, he's praying that Diggs don't sign. Because if Diggs don't sign, you can only franchise tag 1. Are you on franchise tag did? Or you on franchise tag still?
And they already franchise tag Pollard today, bro. So
yes. So we understand Cowboys love franchise tagging.
yeah.
And so that's why Dr. Schultz right now is dancing in the streets because he didn't have to get franchise tagged. So next year we're gonna be back here again, and because the Cowboys not gonna be smart, they might get CeeDee Lamb done, but they're not gonna get Diggs done. So guess what? They're not gonna be smart because I agree with Coach Moore. They should pay still this year.
Ooh yeah.
They should pay still this year. So since you like to use the franchise tag, you can use it on Diggs, and you'll have your weapon and your tackle set up.
They used it on Pollard today, so they can't even use it no more.
And so next year they're gonna use it on somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this is the pattern the Cowboys like to do for every reason. But the only way it's going to work in their favor is if they can get they two other big guys still and Lamb done this year. If you don't get them done this year, man, the Cowboys are going to be a problem next year.
Right. No.
So,
man.
I mean, that's really why I called in, because I heard Coach Meyer. I agreed with him on some things, but a couple things I didn't. So,
it's all
so
good, man. And see, I love it, man. See, I love it because it's a healthy, a healthy back and forth between smart coaches. You know what I mean? That's good.
And then the last thing before I go, Coach Marvel was right, but he was also wrong about the West Coast, the 13 personnel. With Kansas City, you can run 13 personnel when you have the best tight end in the league, the Hall of Fame Kelsey. Because guess what? 13 personnel, that was just window dressing. And then we knew he was going to Kelsey.
Yeah.
And he made the Eagles get into a defense that was beneficial to Kelsey.
Right.
Oh, by the way, the original 49ers, who were the West Coast, had Ben Jones. They had gangster tight ends. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mike McCarthy had gangster tight ends. Yes, that kind of goes with that. And so, I understand that it might be a little smoke, but where smoke is fire. Cowboys might be looking for a better tight end. Because Mike McCarthy has always had gangster, always had dog.
Yep.
So I do agree with Coach Marv on that, but with the 13 personnel, that was more window dressing to get the big personnel on so they gangster tight end can go and do work.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with that.
No, I love it. I get it, man. That's matchup football. That do sound like Mike McCarthy. Facts. Appreciate it, Coach. Appreciate it.
Anytime, boss.
All right, man. So I'm loving, man. We getting all these coaches calling in, man. That's what I'm telling you. That's why BossCowboySports is dope, man. It's the perspective of y'all and the different thoughts that come through. And it's healthy. And trust me, I know Coach Marv. I know Coach Q. Everybody that got these opinions and different opinions, we all in it for the right reasons. We all trying to win, And I like environments to where we willing to challenge each other, challenge thoughts. Trey, my dog, he always challenge thoughts. That make us all better when we like this. You know what I mean? Because then you got to really go prove your case. When you're in a place to where people go challenge you, you got to prove your case. Now, if you're in a place to where everybody go suck up to you, then you go get worshiped for everything you say. But I never wanted an environment like that. You can't have an environment of champions where you don't have a culture of somebody challenging you, challenging your thought, making sure you confirm your thought, making sure you prove your thought. So that's why we put so much time in here proving stuff. You know what I mean? Because I know I got smart listeners. That's the main reason I go so hard on trying to prove the cases that I make, because I know y'all not the type that's go for anything, and that's just facts. So, man, I know y'all been sitting up in here, man, rocking with your boy, Boss Cowboy. I brought y'all 2 shows today. Obviously, man, we appreciate dollars, super chats, cash apps. All of that help us. If you want to cash out the show, it's Boss Cowboy Sports with the $sign on your cash app. Or, you can do the super chat. If you ain't got a couple of dollars, that's cool. Always cool. The least you can do is share the content and hit that like button. If you share the content and hit that like button, hey, just give to us when times are better. Ain't nobody tripping on that. We all working hard. We all got bills. We all got adult problems. And sometimes, it's hard to give financially. But you can give a like. You can do that. That's free. You can also share. That's free. Because you can see I love the content. Are you up at night listening to me? But we gonna keep, bringing this funk, and it's getting ready to speed up everybody. We got free agency starting in about 8 days. It's already starting to pick up. So what you think it's gonna be like once free agency get here? We already starting to get news of this person was tagged, this person was tendered. What you think is getting ready to be like? So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, because I'm gonna tell you right now, me and the OC, we gonna do our best to not just give you quality content, but we gonna also look under the rocks to try to give you the real content. Because I guarantee you, most people ain't talking at all about these nuggets that was laid out by Bobby Bell. He laid out a lot today, a lot, and a lot of it went over people's head. And it's not that many people that's really breaking down the Michael Lombardi interviews and stuff like that, and what it means to Mike McCarthy and all of that stuff. I appreciate the super chat, Day Walker. You always a solid dude, man. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. He said one love. He threw up the yoga flame, man. I appreciate that.
Yoga fire.
So yeah, man. But before y'all go, if y'all hit that like, man, go ahead and hit that like. That's one of the things that's growing the channel. We do got the final word tomorrow, and the big homie Koolaid gonna be in the house. Where we gonna likely at some point have some major debates, because see, all of us think different. We do. So I'm excited for the homie Koolaid. The week after that, we got West Coast on the final word. Then it's Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all come back for the draft show. That's gonna be a bomber. You know what I mean? Because we now getting ready to start talking about, those simulators. We gonna start doing real life simulators, and that's gonna be interactive. I appreciate it, Queen with the $5. She throwing up the bones for your boy, the 5 bones. She said love the content as always. Run it up, man. I gotta hit you with that run it up button, man. This for you. Hold on.
Run it up.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, Queen, so much. And then F say even that thing up. What you mean, big dog? What you say? You want to get in this fight, bro? Yeah, come on, bro. We'll even it out. See, because I think it's gonna actually be very unfair with me, Okoye, and Law on the same team. It's gonna be unfair. I think that's just that's a hard team to go against. I'm being honest, because first of all of us debate well, all of us. You know what I mean? But I just honestly feel like we're on the winning side of this. We're on the real winning side of this. Oh, he's talking about adding Okoye. Now listen, let me tell you something else. Just keeping it real. So I was doing a show the other day, bro, and I was talking about Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Okoye saw it. He saw the thumbnail. He called me while I was live, and I answered the phone. That's the OG. So I said, yeah, bro, what's up? He was like, yeah, man, I just saw your thumbnail. I said, yeah, bro, I'm live. He was like, yeah, bro, we need to talk about that. See, because it's the deal. Okoye and me and Law and the others, everybody that even think different than us, we all in this for the same thing, where we want to put ideas out there that's going to bring us closer to the championship. So we not doing this for TV. He called me because he like, what you saying is what I'm saying. And I'm like, yeah, and what you saying is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So let's join forces to amplify that voice, to try to put pressure to, try to keep Zeke at the right price. See, this is the one thing that none of us are saying. All of us are saying that likely he got to take some kind of pay cut. We agree with that. We just saying don't disrespect Zeke's value to this team, and just come with an offer to where you don't run him off behind trying to spank him with a contract. That's all we saying. But man, y'all continue to rock with Boss Cowboy Sports, man, where your voice matter. We got much love for y'all, man, and we gonna be running it up all week, and it's getting ready to get even crazier as we get closer to free agency. I'm working on a book. I'm already starting my chapter, so I'm gonna be doing content on the entire I'm gonna be doing content on the entire groups, talking about where we are, the free agents and the drafts. So because I want to make sure that we're fully prepared, not just for the draft, but also for free agency. Because most people ain't talking about. That's the only thing we're talking about right now. Draft. Like there's no free agency that's coming up. Like there's no talent that can improve this team like Curse did. You know what I mean? Like Malik Hooker did for a little while. Until they moved him to the free. You know what I mean? It's some talent out there that can still improve this team other than the draft. And I don't want to be a TV content creator to where I only talk about it because y'all want to hear it. That ain't how I want to run my channel. I don't just want to talk about it because I know y'all want to hear it. I ain't gonna rock like that. I want to talk about it because I feel like it really helps us win. That's always gonna be the spirit of how we do it. Run it up. Straight up.
Run it up.
Another one. Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy was the shit.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Hey Trey, man, I know you love Zak Martin, bro. It's all good. I ain't mad at you.
Run it up.
Did you say amplify? Man, let's go, man. We locked in. Ain't no switching up.
We locked in. Ain't no switching up.
Let's get it, man. Run it up. Mm-hmm.
Another one.
Let's go, man. Come on now. Y'all already know. That's what we do over here, man. It's another one.
Run it up.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Let's get it. Y'all stay up, man. Final word tomorrow and more content.